of what we're thinking, where those blues and reds come together. So somewhere in this location, so we have the community of Flag, Harness, Timbo, Mozart. If you are familiar with any of those communities, you have a storm that is showing more and more rotation, and it may try to produce a tornado as it continues to progress its way towards the Mountain View area. So Mountain View, you're in the center line of this rotation. It's going to make a beeline towards Mountain View. So if you're watching us in Mountain View right now, please go ahead and take your tornado precautions anywhere along Highway 66. Let's see, we also have Blanchard Springs Caverns. I think that may be out of the tornado warning. Yes, that's just to the outskirts of the tornado warning. So 56 and Blanchard Springs Recreation Area not included in the tornado warning at this time. This is moving to the northeast and east about 20 miles per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and put on a track here for you. And this is the only cell that has a tornado warning with it. We have the tornado watch until 4 o'clock for Tuesday morning. So here is a track to give you an idea of when it could be arriving in Mountain View. As I put up some towns there, there's Mountain View around 10:50. Now, if it speeds up a little bit more, then we're expecting it to be there a little bit sooner. So Mountain View, you got to get to your safe place. Once again, it's a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning, Tom, but this is a supercell thunderstorm. It's running into an environment that is more favorable for this storm to try to produce something.
Yeah, Nathan, and just kind of looking at things, watching from the Weather Center area where these areas of rotation are tightening up, it's important, North Central Arkansas, to go ahead and take those precautions seriously. As Nathan mentioned, tornado warning, you've got them here for Izard and Stone County. Mountain View is in line of sight from this. Here are the towns: West Richwoods, East Richwoods, Mountain View, Twin Creek by 1107. And there's that area of concern near Timbo, Arkansas. I also have it on Max 2, just real quick. I have a little broader area. This is the track, but you can clearly see when we go to Max 2, Mr. Perry, just here in a moment. I'll show you where we're really seeing it tighten up, where it's really wound up here. Here's Timbo, here's Mountain View right there. You've got your polygon here, and this is the area of concern. We've got some viewers, got some friends up in this part of the state. So if you live in Stone County, if you live in Izard County, you're under a tornado warning, and there's a severe thunderstorm warning back behind this. There's also an area of rotation with that, and along with another warning that's upstream. We've been kind of waiting for this to happen tonight. It is finally coming into play. Let's go back to Max 1. Thank you very much. And Nathan, if we want to take a little bit of a broader viewpoint, we can see those warnings that are lining up now in North Central Arkansas, the area that is showing the best potential for storms tonight. There you go. The one up here that is moving out of Izard County. This one has got a beeline right toward the Ash Flat area there in Sharp County. There's the storm here that is over and close to Mountain View, most of it is over, but you've got the appendage here that's west of Mountain View. And of course, this other cell that we're looking at, Pope County, Searcy County, Van Buren County. So we've got 3 supercells that are roaming across north central Arkansas at this time. And it looks as if the one back out toward Logan County may have weakened enough. But yeah, Nathan, this is really where the focus is over the next few hours with these storms moving into the environment capable of producing some 2.5 inch larger hail and the potential for a strong tornado in this part of the state.
Tom, I've got Storm Track 11 pulled up. We're looking at the rotation tool. This is where the computer software really breaks down on exactly where the rotation is located within the cell. And when we bring this up, there's blue there, but what we're looking for is when you go from the blue into the green and into the yellow. Once you get into those zones, that tells me that there's likely a tornado happening. So right now, we're just in that blue. We're not seeing a brightening of the blue. That's some good news. Still, go ahead and take your tornado precautions. But as this continues to advance its way towards Mountain View, we're going to be watching that very closely. I'm going to switch over here to the high resolution radar. This is using the Little Rock radar now, and this is about 5,700 feet above the surface, Tom. So we're not getting the best read.
Not the best view here. Yeah, you're getting way away from the radar, but there's your polygon, according to Storm Track 11. Here's Fox, Arkansas, Timbo, Flag, Arkansas. It looks as if you've got an area here. Then right on the heels of that, just to the west might have another little area of spin developing. But in the crosshairs, you've got Mountain View. This storm is moving to the east, so Mountain View, you are going to be impacted by that severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Radar indicated tornadoes usually mean that they can see the strong rotation. We don't have visual confirmation on those storms just yet. Another hefty storm just to the north out of Izard County on the very northern fringe of our viewing area, moving into Sharp County. Ash Flat is under the gun right now, so we'll continue to focus on Mountain View and the Stone County area and keep a close eye on the one that's out to the west of us over there in Searcy County. So these two cells are the main focus tonight. The tornado warning remains in effect until 11 o'clock, and as we zoom a little bit closer, you can see some of the areas, some of the highways, Highway 263 and 66. This is where we're picking up the strong rotation. Movement is to the east, and we'll be getting close to Mountain View here in the next few minutes or so. As Nathan pointed out, yeah, wherever you've got those colors, those couplets, or this couplet here, this is where you're finding the strongest rotation. And if this carries to the east a little more to the east, then it would really right along the southern part of town here, Mountain View. If you live along Highway 66 and Highway 9, let's get to our safe place. We mentioned it earlier tonight in our stream, and we've mentioned it in our newscast. To go ahead and make sure your safe place is ready to go, just in case. Here it is, 10:18. A lot of folks have gone to bed, and yeah, this is the result. You get this tornado warned storm. There's your polygon tornado warning until 11 o'clock. Nathan?
When we look at other factors within this storm, Tom, not as big a factor, but there is some hail with it. Looks like quarter size, dime size hail. We'll be watching this hail core as well, because if there's bigger size hail happening, that means the updraft continues to intensify. When you have a stronger updraft or wind going into the storm, that would also enhance the tornado genesis possibly within this supercell. So several things we're watching very closely. But again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning. So no need to panic, but certainly take it seriously. Sure. It's night. Yeah. We want you to be as safe as possible. So Mountain View, please go ahead and get to your safe place as soon as possible.
The storm up in Ash Flat, just a report of 1.5-inch hail up toward the Ash Flat area. That is in Sharp County. That's a little far away. I'm sure we've got some eyeballs there, but our main concern is the cell right here in Stone County, and we do see quite clearly some rotation, pretty strong updraft. Let's go ahead and put another track on it, Nathan, if you don't mind. We'll find out if we have any other small communities between Timbo, Fox, and Mountain View. It looks as if Mountain View is going to be impacted here in the next 15, 20 minutes or so. But that's where we have it. Tornado warning for Izard and Stone counties tonight till 11 o'clock. It's now 10:19, and you're watching extended weather coverage. Meteorologist Nathan Scott, myself, Tom Brandon, will take it out a little farther. And these are just some of the areas. You've got a lot of terrain, a lot of forest and hills out here. But there are some of the places: West Richwoods, East Richwoods, Mountain View, and Herpel, Arkansas, about 10:49. So Mountain View, your time is 10:38. With this storm, you've got a little time to get into your safe area, and make sure you have something to cover up your head. Make sure that you've got your shoes, of course. Get the kids and go to the lowest level of your home. Hopefully, if you are within a mobile home, there's some place you can go that's a little more sturdy, just to make sure that you've got everything taken care of. There are the highways, Highway 5 and 14 near Mountain View. Highway 9, this is where we're finding the worst of it. This is reflectivity, showing some very heavy rain, and quite possibly where we're seeing that darker purple and black. That's where we're finding some hail. Could be quarter, could be a little bit larger than that.
Looking at Storm Track 11, we now have a little splotch of green showing up.
Okay,
so that's a little more concerning when we're looking at this tornado potential. It may be ticking up as it makes its way closer and closer to Mountain View. So you see that splotch of green, that's right where the software is depicting on the rotation starting to become stronger between Fox, Mountain View, and Timbo. So Timbo, Fox, you're fine. But it's Mountain View, and once again, this is making a beeline right towards Mountain View. Hopefully, it stays in the clouds. This is still a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning, but with that green splotch showing up, Tom, I'm a little more concerned that this is trying to produce something that may try to make its way down to the ground, and it's going to be easier to do that since we are in the Ozarks, and we have elevations about 1,500 to 2,000 feet in that part of the state.
So that's our main concern, this little area here, that green splotch, another area of rotation back out over Flag. I mentioned that just a few moments ago. And there you go. That's a better depiction of it as we look at it on the velocity mode. You can see where certainly stronger rotation here just north of Fox. And of course, riding along the highway here toward the Mountain View area. I apologize. I inadvertently unplugged my monitor over here. So take it away and let me plug it back in. My
okay. Another thing that I'm watching here is what's going on with the lightning, because the lightning is really starting to pick up within this cell. And when that happens, that tells us that we have quite a bit of warm air being drawn into this storm. And we got hailstones and we got, believe it or not, snowflakes, ice crystals, all running into one another, and that produces a copious amount of lightning. And when you see the lightning pick up, that tells you that the chance of a tornado is also going up. And I continue to watch that rotation on Storm Track 11. It continues to pick up. So now I'm getting more and more concerned about this potential of some rotation that could try to produce a tornado at any moment as it continues to push its way towards Mountain View. So Mountain View, once again, you got to get to your safe place. This is a supercell thunderstorm, and we do have that chance that if a supercell does produce a tornado, it could be a strong tornado, and that's the EF2 or greater. So we have to watch out for that. But looking at the rotation, Tom, that is continuing to pick up in that part of the region. Now we have a yellow area, Tom. So
yeah,
that coordinates with what I was thinking, that it's getting more concerning that this may try to produce a tornado at any moment as it gets closer and closer to the city of Mountain View.
And I've heard from my friends up in Mountain View, and y'all need to take care and make sure you get in the hallway or get someplace that is safe. Anytime we see a color scheme like that on our NROT product, then we've a pretty good bet we've got a tornado here, although we could confirm that possibly with our debris detector. Nathan will get to that here in just a moment. This is velocity mode right now. You can see where the tightening or that rotation is for Izard and Stone counties. Here's some of the roadways that are going to be impacted. You've got Sugar Hill Road. This rotation is right over the top of you. Blackwell Road near Sugar Hill Road. For those of you that live here, West Rich Woods, this is going to move right over the top of you. This is where the rotation is. And again, National Weather Service hasn't confirmed anything, but you've got a lot of hills and forests out here. It's better to be safe than sorry. Hub Willis Road will be a road you'll hear a lot of. Highway 9, Smith Road. This rotation is moving right over the top of these roadways right now. And I know that what you're looking at home here is the reflection of the color that we have, the velocity colors, but we know that there's some strong rotation and it backs up on NROT, and that is going to be traveling right. Here's Mountain View. If it continues to the east, we'll be on that southern extent, riding along Highway 9. There's West Richwoods, Highway 5 out of Mountain View, and point south of that. That's who's in the path of this potential tornado, Nathan.
Yeah, that's probably the most concerning signature that we've seen with this entire event, but also something we haven't seen for a little bit of time when it comes to severe weather here in central Arkansas. At least this year, I would say we have not seen yellow show up on Storm Track 11 when it comes to the rotation tool that we use. So this is more of a serious situation than what we have been dealing with over the past few tornado warnings, because this may try to produce a tornado, and it could be a strong tornado that's going to get very close to the city of Mountain View. It may track just to the south of downtown Mountain View. So if you are between Mountain View and Hanover, please get to your safe place, and that's going to be a lowest level of a sturdy structure, interior hallway, interior bathroom, interior closet. Don't want any windows in any of those rooms. That's what we mean by interior rooms, because you want to separate yourself with as many walls as possible between you and the storm on the outside. Also, don't forget to put your shoes on, because if there is some damage left behind, if there is a tornado, there's going to be nails, there's going to be a lot of hazards out there that you don't want to step on. And don't forget the pets. But this is getting a little more serious when it comes to seeing the rotation pick up within this cell. And there's the newest scan, Tom. We're seeing a pixel now, so we're getting some pretty good gate-to-gate shear. That pixel right there is 100 miles per hour. That is right there. So that's saying there is an area of 100-mile-per-hour winds going within this storm, or there's certainly something happening. So I'm more and more concerned every scan that we see here, Tom.
And what you're also looking at is a camera on RDOT cam from up in the Mountain View area. Lots of lightning, as Nathan pointed out a few moments ago. A strengthening storm. It's tightening up, and there you go. There's the pixel he's talking about. And what you're looking at is the velocity, the winds from within the storm, winds blowing toward radar and blowing away. And just to orient you, here's Mountain View. You've got Hanover to the south. This area of circulation, possible tornado, is going to travel between Mountain View and Hanover, maybe a little closer to Hanover. And we've got that area of yellow within the blue and the green, which would indicate a pretty good bet that there is a tornado here. We still don't have any actual confirmation. Nathan, do you think we could pick something up this far north with a debris detector to see if there's any? What do you think?
It'd have to be a really strong tornado to pick something up.
Yeah, we're not really seeing much there. Yeah, more pixels. So there you go. That is what's happening if you live in Stone County, if you live in Mountain View, if you live near Mountain View, if you live south of Mountain View. Let's say Hanover, Mountain View, if you live along Highway 9, Highway 5. This area of circulation is traveling right over the top of Highway 9 here within the next couple of minutes. And could be a tornado, might even be a strong tornado. Again, until we have a confirmation, and there's just so many trees, so much forest up here, but it's still showing a pretty good signature that there's at least strong rotation, and it is going to move right over Hanover, if not just to the north of Hanover and south of Mountain View. This is up in Stone County, Arkansas, where we have a tornado warning until 11 o'clock tonight.
I'm going to zoom out here to show the rest of the area, Tom.
Okay.
Because it's just north central Arkansas that we're contending with these supercell thunderstorms. And that may be the only area for the entire night that there could be severe weather. That is a possibility. Even though central Arkansas, we're under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock in the morning, right now, from what I'm seeing and the trends, mostly I think the best chance of storms that will be severe will be primarily outside of the Little Rock Metro, off to the north, just because I still think we have a cap here. You notice this cell is struggling in Pope County. There's no cells developing in Yell County or Scott County at this time. So if we were supposed to see something here in central Arkansas, it'd be coming from that direction for the most part. There's still a possibility we could see some rain and maybe even some rumbles of thunder, but hopefully the severe weather threat doesn't try to creep its way farther down to the south. Still, watching these two supercells, they're nasty storms, but especially that one in Stone County that continues to have that severe tornado warning, Tom. And you see the lightning with this.
Yeah,
I mean, if we look at Max 1, you can pull that up and just take it full for me, Perry, that'd be great. We are still looking at lots of lightning with this cell. I mean, that's a whole bunch of lightning. That is a dangerous storm. Meanwhile, the storm to the west does not look as impressive when it comes to the lightning, Tom.
Thank goodness. That right now is straddling Van Buren County. It's west of Botkenberg, at least where we find the little appendage here. It's backed off just a bit, but we'll be moving over northern Van Buren County, southern Searcy counties here in the next half hour or so. But our main game here is the cell that is impacting. This is a tornado-warned storm that is impacting Stone County and is close to the Mountain View area, the Hanover area. This warning is in effect until 11 o'clock, and this really sticks out. You can see this is right over the West Richwoods area. If you live in West Richwoods or if you have family members there, then a significant area of rotation. Here is Hanover Road at Highway 9. That area of rotation or spin is going to move right over the top. Possible tornado. Not going to say that it is, but it might very well could be. If it continues to the east, you're going to be impacting and affecting Highway 5. There's Highway 14 to the north. This is just to the south of Mountain View. So if you live on the south side of Mountain View, then you're in the path of this cell. If you live on the northern side of it, then you're not. It's a southern side, West Richwoods. That's a tough one to say there. West Richwoods and Highway 9. That's where we're finding some really intense rotation. You've got the colors of orange and blue here. You've got it wrapping around. What does NROT look like? Let's go back to our product. Let's go back to en route on Storm Track 11, Nathan. I think you've got a pretty good picture of it up there. There's Mountain View, there's Hanover, and there is our area of concern right over Highway 9. And just another little bit of rotation back toward the Fox area. This storm is plodding along very slowly, too. It's not moving very quickly, and it's moving due east. Again, Mountain View, Hanover. Let's go out a little bit further. You've got St. James. You get out of Stone County, you've got Izard County. Izard and I believe Independence counties in north central Arkansas, those are the areas that are going to be impacted by this supercell thunderstorm, of which we've been waiting for them to develop tonight. They finally are. And we may only have one or two, but one is more than enough. And I got a message from my friends up in Mountain View. They are in their safe place. Let's hope you're in your safe place as well. Could have some big hail with this. You've got the rotation here. And let's hope there's not a tornado, but indications are that there's a radar indicated possibility there.
And we don't want to take this exactly the primary location. It could be off about 1 or 2 miles of what you see, because as the radar beam goes up, that data is going to be tilted a little bit or skewed. So just because you're not under necessarily the bullseye there, give yourself some wiggle room to the north of it and also to the south of it. I'm just going to call out some landmarks here, because I'm looking at map software, and the Stone County Humane Society is not very far from where that rotation is. So looking at this, I think it's about right here is where the Stone County Humane Society is located. Let me just switch over here to the Max 1 to show you exactly where that is. So it's about right here is what we're looking at. And then also we have some other places like Getaway 9, Hilltop Cabins, also in the path of this dangerous storm, rotating storm that may try to produce a tornado at any moment. Once again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado, but now they're possibly seeing a TDS.
Yes,
Are you seeing that? Let's take a look at CC now. TDS is when we possibly may be seeing the tornado pick up debris.
Tornado debris signal.
So I'm going to switch this back over to Storm Track 11 now, and we'll take a look at that on what they're looking at. So if you can bring up Storm Track 11, because that's what we're looking at right now.
Where Nathan is, yeah.
And I'll switch over here and take a look at it on Max 1 as well, Tom, to set you up.
So this is a coalition coefficient, or our debris signature. Here's Hanover. We talked about it. If anything's happening, I guess that little green pixel is what we're most concerned with. Yeah, that's what we're concerned with. Maybe some debris here. So we're due south of Mountain View, and we're right close to Hanover. This is going to graze Hanover. If you live near Hanover, north side of town, this is where we're picking up debris signature from this tornado.
And they have gone ahead and issued a confirmed tornado warning now.
Okay, so now we have a confirmed tornado in Stone County, tornado with debris. So those, and there you go. Look at it. Just look at that, Nathan.
That's not good.
That is not good. My goodness.
I want to see how high it goes. I'm going to switch over here to 0.9. So right now it's getting debris of 5,600 feet. So it's not going above 6,000 right now, but we'll have to see. That's definitely at least EF1, I would say, but it could be an EF2. So like we've been saying, it could be a strong tornado, and hopefully people are in their safe place.
Yeah, this is Storm Track 11. This is our debris detector, and that's what we were just talking about. There's now been a confirmed tornado in Stone County, south of Mountain View. Just to orient, here's our polygon, tornado warned polygon. There's Mountain View. Here's Hanover. And I know this looks like just a bunch of colors, but this is the area that we're looking at. There's a little bit of a shear marker here, along with this area of blue. That's where we're picking up debris. Could be skewed a little bit, as Nathan said, but whenever we see a color scheme like this with our NROT tool, then there's a pretty good bet that there's a tornado, and you can almost see it wrapping up here. So just south of Mountain View, moving over Hanover. Let's hope that folks were able to find a safe place before this tornado impacted them. But we do have a confirmed tornado in Stone County tonight. All right. Again, this is our Storm Track 11 debris detector. Let's go back to Max 1. Let's look at reflectivity just real quick, and you can see a lot of lightning. This is a very intense supercell thunderstorm, and if we take that off, you can almost see it wrapping up here There's Highway 5 Mountain View. You can almost see the appendage wrapping up here, which means just to the north of that, you've probably got some big hail. Yeah, it matches
Yeah, it's an
up
ugly
nicely.
signature.
Yeah, matches up nicely. This is moving right over the top of Luber Road, Hanover Road, south of Mountain View. A confirmed tornado that is now right over Highway 9. You got something for us, Chris? Highway 5, okay. You can show that. I think we got the camera there. Okay. We'll keep that there. You can see it's a very intense thunderstorm. Let's hope that the folks have been able to get to their safe place. Highway 5, you're going to be next. Here's Highway 14. Confirmed tornado, possibly a strong tornado. It continues to strengthen. The National Weather Service put out a message a moment ago that we are picking up debris. So with the debris detection, we've got a confirmed tornado. This is in effect till 11 o'clock tonight. Movement is very slow, Nathan. What are we looking at here? East at about what, 25 or 30?
It was about 25 miles per hour. The debris has now been detected at 7,500 feet. So this is definitely an EF1, could be an EF2 tornado that we're dealing with now.
And this was the area of Arkansas, any place in the state really, that when we were talking about tornado strengths, we had those hatched marks within our graphics, which would indicate the potential for a strong tornado. And a strong tornado is qualified as an EF2 or stronger. In northeast Arkansas, it could pick up an even stronger tornado. So we're really now moving into the environment of which this storm is feeding, and it's all by itself. There's not much there to stop it. So all it's going to do is get stronger, and it is really ramped up here just now to the east of West Richwoods along Highway 9, just to the south and to the east of Highway 9, Hanover, Arkansas, being impacted by this storm. And this is the only tornado warning that we have. We're keeping an eye on a couple of other areas. Just to the west. It looks like, Nathan, that other warning has been lifted for Van Buren County. Is that what I'm seeing? I'm looking at Max 2. I don't see a polygon box on that. I just see this one cell.
That is correct.
Okay, so this is
that cell has weakened, but this one that we're dealing with has strengthened quite a bit because now the cloud tops are about 55,000 feet, and that's a big boy when it comes to a storm. The higher the cloud top, once you get 55,000 feet, that's why you're seeing a lot of lightning, because this thing is just drawn in a lot of warm air. So we said there was a possibility of a strong tornado tonight, and it looks like we may be getting that for Stone County. I'm going to put a new track on here, Tom,
okay, we'll
because it has increased in speed to 30 miles per hour now.
Picking up some speed. This is storm. While he's doing that, this is Storm Track 11, confirmed tornado. That's what this box means. This polygon, you've got an area where it spreads out a bit. If it happens to take a little bit of a left move or a right move, these are the communities that would be impacted by that storm if it does begin to shuttle around just a bit. But the circulation is south of Mountain View. If you have relatives, friends on the south side of town or Hanover, between Mountain View and Hanover, then we have a confirmed tornado. We've got confirmed debris. Let's just hope that folks were able to get to their safe place and that they had something to protect themselves with. So confirmed tornado, Stone County, south of Mountain View, moving through hilly terrain, a lot of forest here at this time. And this is the only warning right now that we have in our viewing area that we're working. But what Nathan has done is he has placed a storm track in purple over some areas that will be impacted, some roadways that are going to be impacted. Meisenheimer Road, Star Gap Road, that's where the circulation is now. Mill Pond Road. These roadways sound familiar to you. Eventually Highway 5 and Green Loop Road. I'm sorry? I saw our producer was saying something. Did you say something to me? Yeah, strong debris detection. Go ahead. Let's go to Nathan's got it up on Storm Track 11, and we can really see it now. Nathan, right behind you.
Yes, that is the newest scan right there of the CC, or what's known as the correlation coefficient, and that is clear evidence. We now have a tornado that is doing damage. It is going to be trees, leaves, pieces of homes, whatever, is now making its way through Stone County. So Mountain View, you just missed it. You got real lucky. Fox, Timbo, you're in the clear. Mountain View, still stay in your safe place for the next probably 5-10 minutes. But St. James is going to be the next community in the path of this damaging tornado that continues to throw up more debris higher and higher into the atmosphere, because this is now 0.9, and now we're getting it at 10,000 feet. We're still seeing that CC where those colors go from the pinks more to the blues and greens. And what this is showing is basically the shapes of the atmosphere that the radar is detecting. So all the pink and red that you see, that is the radar detecting similar shapes, which would be raindrops or hailstones. But when you have trees and debris and all different types of shapes, the correlation coefficient drops and it goes more to the greens. And when you have blue show up here on this particular type of tool, that is a serious situation that tells you you have certainly a damaging tornado. And when you get higher and higher into the atmosphere, that can really tell you the strength of the tornado. So now we are likely dealing with a strong tornado that is making its way through Stone County just to the south of Mountain View. And once again, this is a confirmed tornado warning, and they are saying it's a considerable tornado happening in this part of Stone County from the National Weather Service. So all the tools that we're using, Tom, it's just not a good situation. Thank goodness it did not hit Mountain View, because that would have been a nightmare situation, almost like a Cave City type situation that just happened last year. Nonetheless, there's going to be homes damaged. There's going to be some incredible, landscape devastation, I would say, with the woods and the wooded areas there, but hopefully people are in their safe place. And if you are to the east of this rotation, please take it seriously. You need to get to a safe place immediately.
Just heard from my friends. They said they're safe. The tornado occurred just south of them. They're up near Mountain View. This is really impacting the Hanover area, which is south of Mountain View. This is our live winds once again. We're showing the main area of concern with that storm track. You can kind of see where the polygon is located. A tornado warning, confirmed tornado moving through Stone County, and this is not good. Possibly a significant tornado. According to what we're seeing from the National Weather Service. We're going to put a track on it. Let's go out a little further in advance here to Independence County. There's Cave City. St. James at 10:56. You've got 13 minutes. O'Neill, Harmontown, Cushman at 11:10. You've got Batesville on the southern end of this. If the cell continues at an easterly jaunt, then it's going to be awfully close to Batesville in Independence County. If you've got relatives and friends in Independence County, this storm's not weakening. It has been strengthening. Let's get on the horn and let everybody know there in the Batesville area, even Cave City, that you've got a confirmed tornado just to your west over in Stone County. You're still a ways away. It's 11:19 is the expected time that this storm will impact you in Batesville. So you've got about 30 minutes to get stuff together. Simmons, Arkansas, around 11:12, 11:10 Cushman, Arkansas, and those communities are within this purple shaded storm track. This is our main player right here. It is now southeast of Mountain View, moving through the Harmon area. As Nathan mentioned just a few moments ago, it is a confirmed tornado, could be a significant tornado. Anything new?
They're going to issue a new tornado warning.
Okay.
There it is. There's a new tornado warning that does include Independence County. They have it drifting more to the south-southeast, so they're saying it's going to be more of a right mover. So I'll adjust that cone, but Batesville is just going to be on the outskirts of this tornado warning, Tom. And we'll go ahead and put a new track on there. That tornado warning is now in effect until 11:30. We were getting some questions on our 501-376-1111 platform.
Okay.
People were concerned about Cave City because, what happened, of course, last year.
Cave City's up here.
Cave City is going to be to the north of this storm. So they don't have to worry about this particular cell. And looking at other cells that are happening to the north of you, looks like Cave City, for the most part, may be able to get by with just a little bit of rain from what I'm seeing right now. But we'll continue to watch things very closely. So I'm going to go ahead and put a new track on this brand new tornado warning.
It's just going to adjust that track. Yeah, it said just a moment ago, too, that if it were to shuttle just a little bit to the right, there's Batesville just on the outskirts of that. But we'll take it beyond, just to kind of put Batesville in the crosshairs there. The storm's moving east-southeast at 25. There are the new times. St. James at 10:56. You've got 11 minutes, 11:01 O'Neill, Melrose 11:03. You've got the Quarry 11:10, Symone at 11:12, Deshay at 11:17, and of course Batesville, the largest community here that would be on just on the outer part of that polygon, or on the outer part of that storm track. Still wrapped up, moving to the east southeast at this time. Confirmed tornado. I haven't seen anything new from the Weather Service on it except for the new tornado warning that has extended beyond 11 o'clock tonight. This is the concern with these nighttime events because hey, there's nothing happening out there. Storms aren't firing up. People get a false sense of security. They go to bed. They may not have things ready to go. Hopefully, if you've got family that lives in this area, I would give them a call in Batesville. I would go ahead and do that just to wake them up and say, turn on the TV. They're talking about this tornado-warned storm out of Stone County that will eventually move into Independence County. Look at all the highways that are going to be impacted. Highway 14 at 230, Highway 69, 104. Here are some areas: Pleasant Grove, Marcella, Bethesda, Locust Grove, all within the polygon and possible path of this storm, of this tornado. Movement is to the east-southeast at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. How is the debris detection going on over there, Nathan? Is it still holding strong, or we still got a pretty good tornado?
It is still showing blue here on the CC, or the correlation coefficient, Tom. So it's still producing damage. There you see the bullseye right there. There's the community of St. James, and this is going to be Highway 5, I believe. Let me see. Yes, Highway 5. So this is Highway 5 right here. So it's pretty much right over Highway 5. And it's going to be headed towards Pleasant Grove and St. James are the next communities in line that will get impacted, most likely by a tornado. And it could still be a strong tornado, as we still see that blue bullseye. When I take a look at it in the upper parts of the atmosphere, we're still getting the lowering of the CC. So this is probably still potentially a strong tornado moving through this part of Stone County. So Mountain View, you are now in the clear. Your tornado warning has been allowed to expire, and you are in the clear at this time. But folks to the east and southeast of this cell, so Bethesda, just to the south, the Cushman and Batesville, folks in Batesville, please watch this very closely, because this cell is headed in your direction. And the thing is, Tom, there's nothing to impede this thing from continuing to draw in that warm, humid air. I mean, it is humid out there for tonight. We had a lot of storm fuel in place, and what we were saying all evening long is the gasoline is there. We're just waiting for that match to be lit. And it has been lit in north central Arkansas. And we told you it could just be one or two storms that may go wild, and this one certainly has.
Yeah, you bring up a good point with that we have talked about just maybe a few storms. Doesn't look like it's going to be a widespread thing. There's not much going on south of us in central or southern Arkansas, but these 2 or 3 supercell thunderstorms, and there's really just this one. And we've got the current warnings up here if we want to adjust that just a little bit. Here are the communities that are currently under that tornado warning. It is a confirmed tornado. Let me take a step back. Again, Pleasant Grove, Marcella, Locust Grove. You've got Batesville on the outer part of that, Independence County. But if it maintains its strength, and we see no reason why it won't, then it may be impacting a good part of the Batesville area, either north or south, with the current movement of that cell. If we could take a trip over to Max 2 real quick. I do have another track on it, Perry, if you don't mind, and I'll be sure to give you some of the names here. This is based on the storm moving about 30. St. James 11:01, 11 minutes away. Batesville 11:32, Pfeiffer 11:38. It's this cone right here. This is the storm track. Here is your tornado warning polygon, and this is where we're finding the rotation. So give or take, St. James 11 o'clock, give or take a couple of minutes. O'Neill 11:08. Harmontown, the Quarry, Symone, 11:29 for Deshay. So we're good 25, 30 minutes away. You got plenty of time to get folks over to the safe place. Kids to their, get them in the closet, get them in the lowest part of your home. Put as many walls between you as you can, and stay away from windows. Just to orient you, here's Cave City. I'm sure a lot of folks in Cave City are still suffering from a little bit of anxiety, storm anxiety here. This is Independence County. There's Batesville, Gainesboro. Right here's Independence County. This is Stone County. So the storm is going to move out of Stone County into Independence County. It may clip just a little bit of Cleburne, the northeastern tip of Cleburne County. We have had reports of some power outages. Our producer, Chris, what are we seeing in terms of power outages before we... 430 for 430 residents in Stone County without power. Okay, thank you very much. Keep up the good work. Nathan, why don't we go take a look at the NROT tool on Storm Track 11, and I'll turn it to you with the latest.
A little bit of good news here, Tom.
Okay.
Hopefully it's a trend that continues to show, but we're not seeing the bullseye yellow anymore. So this is telling us it may be weakening somewhat. I'm going to rewind this here over the past few scans just to see how things have evolved. And we did have that bullseye yellow once it made its way very close to Hanover. And let me just pan this over a little bit. So there you see the bullseye yellow. That's when we had that confirmed tornado warning, and also seeing that CC lower. Now we have kind of started to lose a little bit of that intensity when it comes to the NROT tool or the rotation pinpoint tool. So hopefully this continues to weaken, but supercells, they go through cycles. So we can't say, okay, this is weakening before it gets to Batesville. It could just be going through a little cycle, and it could certainly try to spin up once again and produce more rotation. With that said, we're still going to say this is still producing a tornado at this time. So St. James, you got to be in your safe place. It's going to be a very close call for you folks. And then Bethesda, you're next in line, and potentially Batesville as well. I'm looking at what used to be the traffic camera at Mountain View, Highway 5, saying can't play video. So, yep, power outages have happened in that area since we've lost that traffic camera now, Tom.
Okay. All right, so confirmed tornado tonight, at least one of them. Here's what it looks like. Once again, this is our reflectivity mode. Lots of lightning here. I want to take it to max 2, Mr. Perry, if you don't mind, and we'll work with that. I've got it up, got to look at the way the velocity is, and to confirm what Nathan is saying. Go to max 2, please, if you don't mind. Thank you. We're still on max 1. He's getting to it here in just a moment. The center of rotation, the area of rotation, is just to the west of Pleasant Grove and St. James, Highway 14. There it is right there. Here is your area of rotation. There's your couplet. Winds blowing toward and away from radar. This allows us to pick up the area of spin. And this is going to be moving over Highway 14, Pleasant Grove and St. James, those two communities, if you know folks that live there. If you live there, then you need to be in your safe place. And from there, we'll go on down the line a little bit. Bethesda, Highway 106. And if I zoom in a little bit more on this, I may lose some of the detail, but we'll try to go down to a few of the smaller roads. Hurricane Hollow Road. If you live near there, if you know somebody that lives near Hurricane Hollow Road, and right now the circulation is over Peters Road. That's south of Highway 14. You've got County Road 89. So our area of concern is now moving over between St. James and Pleasant Grove. Those should give you a pretty good idea of where this is going to impact, who it's going to impact. And I got to put my glasses on to see the other ones. Lindsay Road, Church Road, Walter Drive up here. This is what happens when your eyes get a little bit older, folks. All right, let me take it back out a little bit, show you the red polygon. This is the confirmed tornado warning. Here's Batesville, Independence County. If you're just joining us, Nathan Scott, Tom Brandon joining you with continuing coverage tonight on THV11, THV11 Plus, Facebook, and YouTube. We hope that we're on all platforms being able to inform you of what's happening in north central Arkansas. One supercell thunderstorm right now that's kicking up a fuss, and it's produced a tornado. We've had debris confirmation. We hope there are no injuries, and we hope that maybe it was just out over an area that had a lot of forest, and the trees might just be what's impacted. It's out of Mountain View. You're fine now, Mountain View. And now we're beginning to get closer to the western edge of Independence County. Again, here's Batesville. Cave City is out of the polygon. You are safe. Did that just take an upward tick, Nathan? Did it get stronger?
I'm not seeing anything on the NROT as of right now.
Okay.
But also, let's go to max 1 because I now have the CC pulled up on that.
Okay.
So it's much easier to figure out where we are located. If you just want to take that, Tom.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty much near Pleasant Grove or right over Pleasant Grove. here you go. This is the area that we've been talking about. And you know, we're looking at a lot of different colors here. We're looking for, you know, some of those blue colors and that just really stick out in that area. And that's what we're seeing. There is the area of concern. Possible tornado now moving over the top of Pleasant Grove. Here's Highway 14. St. James is just to the north, but you're not out of the woods. Here's Lily Lane, Marcella, some smaller communities here. We certainly do hope that you are able to get into your safe place. And if you have yet to do that, you live in Independence County, remember your tornado safety. We haven't had to deal with much severe weather this year. And tonight, nighttime tornadoes, no bueno. Nobody likes them. I don't like them. I know Nathan doesn't like it either. No one should like this because you can't see what's coming at you. And so many of us want to go out and try to find it. But let's hope that you took the kids and went to your safe place. A lot of folks may have a root cellar they get in. That's perfect. Centermost part of your home, lowest level. And there you go, near Pleasant Grove, Arkansas. That's where we're seeing the debris. We'll take it back a little bit. Watch as it crosses over Highway 9. It'll move into the western edge of the polygon. Is that right there? That's when it was the strongest, more than likely. We really picked up the debris. And now we're still getting a little bit of that debris detection in Pleasant Grove and Highway 14. This is up in Stone County, and we're getting ready to see it shift over into Independence County.
The NROT has come down significantly, but they're saying that this cell may be trying to restructure and try to produce a tornado somewhere else within the cell. So just have to watch it closely. This is the latest NROT. You see St. James right there. And when I rewind this back a few scans, we had that bullseye of green right there, just the last scan. And here's the newest scan, which shows we've lost that green. So this tells me that it has weakened. Is it still producing a tornado? When we take a look at the CC, there's still some lowering of the CC, but not as significant as what we saw just about 5-10 minutes ago. So this is probably going through a cycle, and it may try to produce a tornado somewhere else within the cell. But there's still some rotation located in that area around St. James and Bethesda. You still want to take this seriously. Hopefully you're in your safe place and you're listening to us on your phone or other device or other platform, because you still have a dangerous storm headed in your direction. And we can go back over to Max, because what we take a look at also is the lightning. Let's see if the lightning continues to pick up, and it's still producing a lot of lightning with this cell. I mean, that's just very impressive when it comes to the amount of lightning strikes. We can actually query this, how many lightning strikes there have been within this cell in that red box right there. 267 lightning strikes over the past 10 minutes. So this still is a very dangerous cell. Other storms across the region, that one that was in northern areas of Pope County now has moved into Van Buren County, but it does not look as threatening by any means like what we were watching as this cell made its way from Searcy County into Stone County. And Tom, the rest of us were like, what are you guys talking about? There's nothing happening in Pulaski, Saline, Faulkner County.
Not at all.
And there may not be anything, just because the cap here looks like it's holding so far. Now, that could change in the next couple hours. It's just a wait and see, so we can't let our guard down just yet.
And on a day where we've had, I mean, copious amounts of instability and wind shear. Now, most of the wind energy may be moving away from us at this time, but north central Arkansas still has the greatest chance of the rotating thunderstorms that could produce tornadoes. You got a little speck here in Pope County, and then you get back up toward where we have the storms, that tornado warning up in Stone County. We're on Max 1. Let's go to, yeah, there you go. I was going to pull it down just a little bit. Here's Cleburne County. Just a very small tip of Cleburne County is under the tornado warning, and that's nowhere near Heber Springs or the lakes. It is just to the north of Drasco, by the way. Storm could be going through a bit of a cycling. Could be down cycling right now, but could strengthen once again. The storm motion is to the east-southeast, about 25 to 30 miles per hour. We've got Batesville and Independence County just outside the polygon box. We've noticed it's weakened somewhat. Pleasant Grove is where the latest scan that we had the strongest rotation. The storm's still formidable, lots of lightning, big lightning producer. Power outages being reported. About, how many was it again? About 500 folks without power. That was south of Mountain View. I think that's what we were saying. And you can still pick up a bit of spin here. There also seems to be a little area there that is just to the east of Pleasant Grove, that along Highway 14. There's St. James, Marcella, Pleasant Grove. This is where we're finding the greatest spin or the greatest rotation with this tornado-warned storm. There's Bethesda. The next up would be Batesville. It looks like the storm may cruise just to the north of Batesville, but other folks, Highway 69, Highway 106, and 25. I'm looking downstream, always looking downstream so that we can warn the folks out ahead of time. There it is, tornado warning for that part of Stone County and also into eastern parts of or western parts of Independence County tonight till 11:30. Cleburne, just a very small speck tip of Cleburne County. This is more for Stone and Independence counties. And then you've got I'm looking at Max 2 right now. Storms up in Lawrence and Randolph County, northeast Arkansas. It looks as if under severe thunderstorm warnings. Tornado warning, and that's all we have. And one more cell out northern Van Buren County. Keeping a close eye on that one, Nathan. But you're right, it's not as big, not as bad as the one moving through Stone, Southern, Izard, and Independence.
The National Weather Service is agreeing with my analysis earlier, Tom, saying that this has really started to show a lot of weakening, and they're probably going to change the confirmed tornado warning to a Doppler radar tornado warning instead of something that's confirmed, because we're continuing to see the rotation weaken. So hopefully this thing falls apart before it reaches you folks in Batesville, but it's about to cross the White River from Stone County into Independence County. This is the only cell that we are concerned about for the entire THV11 viewing area, but it is a very dangerous, potent, packed system that continues to, if not produce a tornado, it's still producing a lot of lightning and maybe some damaging winds. We haven't even taken a look at the hail because that has not been a huge concern.
Right.
But when we take a look at the hail, yeah, it's not, we're not talking about baseball-sized hail like what we saw Saturday evening. There's still some hail there, but the biggest concern was most likely we did have a strong tornado that did make its way through parts of Stone County in the past 15 minutes or so.
Heard from my friends up in Mountain View. They did not receive any hail. They did have some very heavy rain. It's raining heavily now where they are up in the Mountain View area. There's Mountain View. Just on the outskirts of the TV viewing there, but I can see it. Again, our focus is within this polygon, Pleasant Grove, Marcella, where we could see, once again, not a confirmed tornado now, radar indicated, although we still have some debris detection, some low wind there. Maybe not as impressive as it was just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that could just be leaves still stuck up in the updraft part of the storm that haven't come back down yet. So it's not as significant as what we saw earlier. Looking at Storm Track 11, going back to the NROT tool, the rotation pinpoint tool, the green has come back. So, you know, that's a little more concerning once again. So that is right along the White River now. There's Bethesda. Here's the White River. And now we have rotation picking up within this cell once again as it gets closer and closer to Bethesda. So this is a tornado warning that did have a confirmed tornado with it earlier. We still don't know if it's on the ground or not, but I would certainly treat it like it is as it makes its way closer to Bethesda. Hopefully it goes back up in the clouds, and we'll continue to watch the debris detector to see if anything changes there. But I need you folks in Bethesda to be in your safe place. You don't have much time as this dangerous storm that has produced a tornado just to the west of you is headed towards your community and may still be producing a tornado at this moment. And that's the only cell, once again, that's the only cell that we are dealing with in the entire THV11 viewing area, because when we span it out here, you see the ribbon of cells just north of Clinton and then really northeast Arkansas. And this was the area that had the best opportunity of seeing severe weather today. This is where the low-level jet's really located as it continues to exit off to the northeast. So those storms have caught up with that low-level jet, enhancing the rotation. Meanwhile, here in central Arkansas, there's nothing happening because we still have most likely the lid or cap over us, preventing and suppressing the chance of storms from firing up over central Arkansas at this time. And looking at more information, Tom, the HER that we look at continues to show really the best chance is going to be in north central Arkansas for that potential severe weather through the rest of the evening into the overnight.
And the key there is overnight. Storms overnight give a lot more anxiety. Let's, I guess we can just take a deep breath here and let's go back to Max 2, please. I'm going to get off the debris detector. Thank you very much. I want to show what's going on in terms of other storms happening in the area. THV11 viewing area does extend up to Stone and Izard counties, Independence County. We get away from Lawrence and Randolph and Sharp counties. We might have a few eyeballs up here. This is another very strong storm. There was a tornado warning earlier tonight for Fulton and Sharp counties. You've also got a boundary moving through. I would say that folks that live north and west of this line of storms, the severe weather potential has really dropped off tonight. We still may have a little ways to go here in central Arkansas, but we'll keep our focus on our neighbors and friends up in Stone and Independence County, where the tornado warning remains in effect. And yeah, it looks as if there's a little bit of a hook here. And this is Batesville. The storm is on the border of Stone and Independence County, getting ready to move just into Independence County. And we still have some back building down toward Van Buren County and Pope County. The tornado warning remains in effect for Stone and Independence County until 11:30 tonight. And let me go a little bit closer here. And I'm going to turn on a live winds once again with that polygon and pick out where we find some rotation. Now, the arrow is pointing right at it, riding along Highway 14. Here's Batesville. Here's the illuminated tornado warning. It's not confirmed anymore. It's the radar indicated. This storm is just west of Batesville, moving into the western edges of Independence County. Some roadways that are going to be impacted right now. As a matter of fact, Highway 14. If you live along Highway 14, let me go in just a little bit further. There's Marcella. It appears as if the center of circulation now traveling right over the top of Marcella. Melrose, you're going to be impacted. Here's Bethesda. We've called out your name several times already tonight, and could be looking at another area developing after we saw the original circulation kind of wind on down a bit. There you go. That's what we have for you right now. This warning is until 11:30. It's currently 11:08. And it's the only tornado warned storm we have, and that's enough. Let's hope that it weakens and gets out of the way, and we can return to normal tonight, Nathan.
Tom, the National Weather Service is saying this is trying to develop a new circulation center.
Okay.
So the Supercell is going through a cycle, and most likely that new rotation is going to be more to the south. So it's going to continue to traverse its way more to the south and southeast. It's going to be a close call for Batesville, but also now I'm thinking Locust Grove and Salado will be in line for that as well. So when we take a look at that on Max 1, if you want to switch it over there, Perry, please. We do have that new, basically where the tornado warning will be located in terms of my thinking in the purple area. So there's not a new tornado warning as of yet, but you folks, certainly in Batesville, Salado, and right along Highway 54, or it's not 54, 14, 167, those areas would be next in line for this potential of seeing a tornado continuing to make its way through parts of Independence County.
Brooke Buckner is setting up shop. I think she's got some information to pass along for us tonight. Brooke, let me know when you're ready to go, and we'll turn it over to you.
I am ready to go.
Okay.
It's a very small update, but it is an update nonetheless. I am in contact with the Stone County Judge, Avey, and he told me trees are down on Highway 5 South, and he heard of a damaged house on Helms Road in Stone County. He believes there's some more damage in the rural parts of the county, too. So,
All right.
yeah, I'm going to continue to follow up with him on that and see what else comes of it. Of course, it's dark outside, so it's really hard to tell what is damaged, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brooke. And I know that we've got about 500 power outages as well across Stone County, maybe even a few more. Here's the storm track once again in the communities that are going to be impacted as we await new information from the National Weather Service and new warning, I believe. O'Neill, 11:11. How about Pattonville, 11:26? Still Batesville, 11:34. It appeared as if the cell was going to be moving more to the east, and now with a bit of an east-southeast jaunt, maybe the south side of Batesville. This is the storm track in purple, and these are the communities that we see within that track. The storm's going through some cycling. I noticed that it's bending a little more to the east-southeast, Nathan, instead of more northeasterly, a little bit of a right mover there. Sulphur Rock is in the crosshairs, Salado, Rosie, just to name a few locations with this very dangerous supercell thunderstorm that has produced a tornado tonight.
When you have a storm that's known as a right mover and it turns more to the right, that tells you how intense of a storm that you're dealing with, because it's producing its own motion with that updraft rotation that's happening within it. So this is certainly something that is concerning when you have that right moving situation. So Batesville, there you go. And if this holds together, which is a possibility because there's nothing to the south to block the inflow of this storm cell, I'm going to give you folks a heads up for the rest of Independence County, but also I would say Newport and Tuckerman and Grubbs. You also need to watch out very closely for this cell. If you have friends or family in Jackson County, just be ready to give them a call just in case this cell continues to be intense and possibly be tornadic as it makes its way towards Jackson County, because you see, if you extrapolate this or extend this tornado warning, it would make its way into Jackson County probably in the next hour to 2 hours, I would say, for that part of the THV11 viewing area. No updates as of yet with this tornado warning that will be extended most likely into Independence County if this rotation continues to be on the upswing. But we still have that tornado warning in effect for parts of Independence County, which does include extreme western areas of Batesville until 11:30. We're going to take a look at the NROT tool once again to see if that's still showing up the potential. And it does show still a little splotch of green right there, very close to the community of Bethesda. And when I take a look at the winds, Tom, there's still some rotation, but also there's some rotation, looks like to the north now. South of Cushman, there's something kind of suspicious going on with that. And that's also being highlighted with some green as well. So maybe this cell's trying to split to produce two areas of rotation. That's kind of interesting.
If we could go to Max 2, we can see what he's talking about here. Here's one area of rotation. Here is the other. Cushman is just to the north. There's Highway 69, and where 69 and 106 meet, there's that independent area of rotation along with the one that's now just west of Batesville. Movement east-southeast at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So we may be looking at, as reported, maybe it's splitting a little bit. Maybe we're going to have to deal with two areas of rotation. But either way, it's bad news all the way around. You can see the polygon has been shaved back. The storm now, the concern is now in northern Independence County, and we've been mentioning some of the roadways and highways. I'm going to go a little bit closer here and pick out more roadways for those of you that want that information. There's Bethesda. This rotation is right over the top of you. There's Cushman, Arkansas. So the other area of rotation is south of Cushman near Highway 106 and Highway 69. Bethesda, the possible tornado, if one does happen, will move right over the top of you here in the next few minutes. There's Highway 106 and 69. Batesville's just off the map here. That would be the next major community that would be impacted by this supercell thunderstorm and potential tornado. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer without losing the identity of where that area of rotation is. All right, so you've got University of Arkansas Agricultural Station. They may have been impacted or could be impacted. Let's see some other roadways. Looks like Laura Lane, Medlock Road, Frank Myers Road, and there you go. We just had an update. So that area of rotation now moving over Frank Myers Road and Highway 106. So those are some of the roadways that are currently being impacted by this potential tornado. Tornado warning continues till 11:30 for Independence County. Nathan, what are you seeing on NROT with, it's beginning to really show up well, these two separate areas of rotation tonight there in Independence County?
Yeah, it's still there, Tom. It's still seeing green. Let me advance this here as we go through the last scan. Yeah, it's still there. It's right around Bethesda. So now it's going to be very close to Batesville and Deshay. this tornado warning, they're going to have to push it south because it's just right on the edge of this tornado warning, it looks like. When we take a look at the winds, the velocity, it's not a tight couplet, but it's there. So we're just seeing if it's cycling up or not. And then you got something fishy still happening south of Cushman, that this could be like a cell that's trying to split into two different identities for the most part. And if this does split, this is going to be more of a hail threat versus a tornado threat, at least for a long period of time. And your right mover, that's going to be more of a tornado threat as it makes its way towards Deshay and also into pretty close to Batesville as well. Go over to Max 1 now, Perry, if we could, because I have went through, and this is the path of rotation with the history of that supercell. So you see, now this is considered to be low rotation, but this is not the best when it comes to the intensity. It just gives you an idea of where the rotation went across. And it lines up Highway 9 and then right through Pleasant Grove, in between Mountain View and also right over West Richwoods, Hanover Road, Highway 5, Pleasant Grove, and then we started to lose it a little bit as it got closer and closer to Bethesda, but it's still there. So that's where the National Weather Service will most likely go ahead and check out the damage and see if it was, I'm not going to say if it was a tornado, because it was a tornado with damage, most likely, what strength the tornado was. So that's what we're going to be watching. And now we have a brand new tornado warning. So I think they're including those two areas of rotation, Tom, with this one. Yeah. And it does include Cave City. Okay. Because that northern area now, I think they're concerned that's trying to make its way off to the north-northeast. So they've taken this tornado warning because that one rotation to the north is going to move to the north-northeast. That one rotation that's pretty close to Bethesda, that's going to continue to travel its way more towards the east and potentially southeast.
And as it looks, Cave City's riding just on the border of that polygon. But yeah, there's one area here, one area here. So they're going to split and travel east-northeast. So yeah, covering up really the entire part of northern Independence County. There's a good-looking shot of that supercell. Here's Cave City, and here's one of our areas of concern. And really the part that has the grain near Bethesda, Arkansas. This is the old polygon, the new one, surrounding a good deal more real estate there in northern parts of Independence County and I believe Sharp County as well. We've got Sharp County now with a tornado warning.
Yes, that does include Cave City and southeastern areas of Sharp County.
Independence, Jackson, Lawrence, and Sharp. Okay. Just wanted to get that out there. But yeah, a couple of areas of rotation. Still with a severe thunderstorm warning to the north. If you live, Cave City, if you live in Cave City, which is in northern parts of Independence, southern Sharp County, you go ahead. Let's go ahead and get in our safe place. This is going to go right over the top of Batesville, if not just maybe on the south side of town. There's Sulphur Rock there within the polygon, Court, Arkansas, Strawberry, all of these communities here in northern Independence County in the path of a couple of areas of rotation. One here that's just to the southeast of Cushman, another that's south of Bethesda, and they're traveling. One is traveling northeast, the other is traveling to the east. This is the game that we have, or the only game that we have with this tornado warned storm. This is the only one we have. The others, severe thunderstorm warnings, but we still have a little bit of an appendage and a line that extends out over north central Arkansas away. So this is the only one that we have. I'm sure sirens are going off once again in Independence County if they haven't stopped. If you are watching us, thank you, THV11 Plus, THV11. You catch us on THV11.com. Find your safe spot, turn on your phone, go to THV11 app, and you can track along with Nathan and I. We've talked about radar 24/7. You can use or see what we use to track severe weather in storms such as this. Cushman, Arkansas, here's Cave City. This is our tornado warning polygon. The storm is going to be moving over the Batesville area, at least the area that would have the potential tornado, strongest area anyway. That other area of spin is going to move more to the east-northeast. All right.
I've got the rotation highlighted on Max 1.
Let's go to Max 1.
Take a closer look at that. So there's the areas of rotation that we're watching. There's the one south of Cushman, and then the other one just to the west of Batesville. But basically, if you are in this tornado warning polygon that encompasses a large chunk of Independence County, Batesville, Gainesboro, and then even into parts of Sharp County and southwestern areas of Lawrence County. Cave City is included in this. It's going to be a close call for Cave City when it comes to where that rotation is going to be. Hickory Valley, you definitely want to be in your safe place because this rotation is going to be right over you, and it could just be to the south of Cave City, but certainly don't write it off Cave City. If those sirens are going off, make sure you go ahead and take your tornado precautions at this time. Then we still have this rotation happening here just to the west of Batesville. We have to watch out for that one because that is going to be headed towards Batesville. Batesville, you're under that tornado warning, and this goes until midnight, and you can see it also includes parts of Jackson County, so north of Diaz. And that would be approaching Tuckerman and Swifton if it gets in that neck of the woods and still maintains its strength. This is the only bad cell that we are watching. That continues to be a huge issue. You see all the lightning there, so this thing is not weakening whatsoever. And when we take a look at the cloud heights, because we can also do that here, those cloud heights are really impressive. I mean, this thing was going up to 50,000 feet, and it's still maintaining big cloud height right there. Right over Batesville is where that updraft is located right now. And I can query this as well to see how high these clouds are. I'm going to say about 50,000 feet for the most part. Let me go back here and fix this. I hit the wrong button.
It's all right. I was looking at the watches that we have. If you want to go to Max 2, Perry, we'll work with this just real quick. Let me update you on the watches. Tornado watch in effect till 4 o'clock in the morning. That includes all of central and northern Arkansas. PDS watch till 11 o'clock. It's beyond 11 o'clock. I have a feeling they've extended that watch. I need to check and see how late it's going to go. Give me just a moment, and I will do that for you. At the strike of a pen. Let's see how long this has been extended. We'll be sure and update that. That's now till 5 a.m. Tornado watch for the original PDS area till 5 a.m. May not any longer be a PDS watch, but we'll get that updated for you. So if you're up, you're watching us, tornado watches are in effect, and we've been tracking tornado-warned storm. This is what the regional vantage point looks like in Arkansas with that tornado warning, the polygon that is in Independence County that also covers a little bit of Lawrence and Jackson counties this evening, and a possible tornado near Batesville tonight with the tornado warning. Nathan, go ahead and take it away and talk about the cloud heights.
That is not a PDS watch, by the way.
It's not, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and update that then.
It's considered just to be a regular tornado watch. But yeah, Max 1, we've got the cloud tops just to show you how powerful this storm is. 51,000 feet into the atmosphere. That's what this storm has climbed up to. So when you have a storm that's over 50,000 feet, that is a power-packed storm. And when we look at the rotation within this, because we're still seeing rotation happening right there. There you see, it's primarily around just to the west of Bethesda. It's not picking up too much on the one that was south of Cushman, except just one scan. Let me pause this here. And it was picking up right there around Cushman before that rotation with this particular software shows that might be weakening with that northern rotation and still maintaining its rotation as it gets closer and closer to Batesville. So Batesville, please be in your safe place at this time. We're going to take a look at the winds. We are looking at, I would say, from Little Rock, and the rotation is certainly still there, certainly still a big concern as this rotation is getting very close to the city of Batesville. So hopefully you are in your safe place at this time. Batesville, lowest level, sturdy structure, interior hallway, interior bathroom, interior closet. Get there now if you haven't already. Go ahead and put your shoes on or take your shoes with you because you don't have much time before this dangerous storm that continues to produce significant rotation is headed for the city of Batesville. That W that you see right there, that's the Walmart location at Batesville. So here's some roads popping up as we get closer to Batesville now. There it is with the White River going through Batesville and Highway 106, Highway 394, and we also have Highway 69 in the path of this significant rotation. When we take a look at the CC, we'll see if that is still showing any lowering than what it has previously done. And we're not seeing any lowering at this time, Tom. So that's some good news. Hopefully it's just a lot of rotation within the clouds and it stays in the clouds. But nonetheless, this cell has had a history of producing a confirmed tornado into Stone County, and it is still a very dangerous cell as it makes its way through northern areas of Independence County.
Word is that they've opened up the tornado shelters at Southside. I think it's a little bit too late to hop in the car and go to Southside right now, considering that this is just to the west of Batesville. But Nathan, I'm keeping an eye on another area of rotation that's near Marcella, near Highway 5, that has come into play. So we may have another developing tornado that's just outside of the polygon. But this cell is moving into downtown Batesville, the western part of Batesville, downtown, along Highway 106. Again, we'll take you down a little bit further so that we can see some of the roadways there. Batesville up in Independence County. Let me get to some roads here. Here we are. There you go. Some of the locations. River Road right now. This is where we're seeing the rotation move across. Looks like Gaynor Ferry Road. You've got McClendon Street and Highway 14. This is where we're finding the rotation, or at least this is where radar is indicating rotation between Highway 106 and McClendon Street, which is 14, or not, I'm sorry, 14 is not McClendon, but between Highway 106 and Highway 14. That's the area of rotation. Here's downtown Batesville, where 167 is located. This is going to move right over the top of downtown Batesville. Nathan mentioned the Walmart. We've got some landmarks there, but we'll keep it right here and follow this rotation as it moves over Batesville. Let's hope that there's not a tornado, although this storm has had a history of producing tornadoes. And this warning is in effect until midnight for Independence, Jackson, Lawrence, and Sharp. And this main area is now moving into western parts of Batesville. Here's Highway 167. You saw the radar just update, and here's where we find our couplet. Again, roadways, Highway 14 between 106 and 14. There's West College Street, Riverbank Road, Denison Road, and this is, looks like Ponderosa Road. This is where the area of rotation is now moving over downtown Batesville, the western end of downtown Batesville. Tornado warning is in effect. Independence County. Certainly hope that folks are in their safe place tonight. Man. All right.
Storm Track 11 showing still a green splotch using the pinpoint rotation tool. There it is, about to enter into Batesville, and it's right close to Deshay and Batesville. And then Moorfield, Sulphur Rock, you all need to be in your safe place. If you are in this tornado warning polygon, especially in this bullseye area that I'm going to draw, you need to be in your safe place, no questions about it, because this is trying to develop rotation once again. That rotation's picking up, so we can go back over to Max 1 now. Tom, I put on some towns for you right there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Batesville right now, 11:28 is the time, 11:32, but right now, Moorfield, 11:40, Gainsboro, 11:45, Magnus, 11:52. Anywhere within this purple polygon, this is who's going to be impacted by this eastward moving supercell thunderstorm with a possible tornado. Newark, 11:56, Paraquet, 12:06, Remy, 12:12. And so we got Gainsboro here. We can see Gainsboro, so there's a lot of these little communities that are not showing up. But the rotation right now is right over the top of Batesville. Downtown Batesville looks like it might just be on the west-southwest side. And what a thunderstorm it has been. It has been a parent supercell that has cycled a couple of times, and you can see the inflow right here. So this may move right over the top of Walmart, Nathan. You've got the W there. That's where we're finding the inflow notch. This is where we're finding the potential for a tornado tonight.
Yeah, if this was daytime, Tom, I'm sure we would be seeing a wall cloud or something of that sort approach folks at Walmart. And most likely that's where the tornado is going to be, because you can clearly see that clear notch that tells you that's where the updrafts are located, and then it goes around on the rear flank downdraft that's just to the south of Batesville. So if there's a tornado, it's going to be right over Highway 167 at this time, I would say.
It looks as if it may just skip over the top of Salado there, unless we get a little bit more of another development here over that community. Northern Cleburne County, tail end near Drasco, Arkansas, not under a warning, but you can see where the tail end of this ends near B Branch and Clinton. They just had a pretty good downpour there in the Clinton area. And this all leads up to that parent supercell up in Independence County right now, where Batesville is under a tornado warning. Okay, 1,000 folks without power now in Independence County. All of downtown Batesville is without power. Now, it's not as impressive on Storm Track 11 on the NROT, but we do know that we do have a big couplet here, a nice couplet that shows that we've got some significant rotation. This is our reflectivity mode. If we go back over to Max 2, or there you go, we could take a look at that. Right in here. And again, there's a secondary area back to the west there. It's not as impressive as it was, but there's certainly some rotation there.
Yeah, it's a little broader, and that's indicated by the rotation tool, the NROT tool that we talk about. We're not seeing any green here, so that's kind of giving me a little sigh of relief, but still don't want to let your guard down, still want to be in your safe place. Batesville until we give you the all clear. Moorfield, Sulphur Rock, still stay in your safe place. You're in that tornado warning polygon until further notice. As this cell, it's still rotating. There's still rotation. It could be going through a cycle once again. Looks like we didn't get any confirmation of a tornado as it made its way through Independence County, so that is some good news. But you see how this line's trying to build its way down to the southwest. Now, if you are, I would say, Johnson County, Newton County, Searcy County, Logan County, Scott County, your threat of severe weather is over for the rest of the night. We're going to continue to watch things closely here in central Arkansas to see if that line will continue to build its way into Conway County and parts of Faulkner County. It may try to chisel away at the cap that we have going on. Right now, I'd say the chance of severe weather here in central Arkansas is pretty low, Tom. We certainly can't rule it out, though, and we'll just have to wait and see and watch closely how things continue to evolve here over the next hour until that boundary off to the west makes its way close to central Arkansas. We just don't want to discount the chance of severe weather here in central Arkansas just yet.
I think we've got a power outage map that we want to show you. Go ahead and pull it up, Chris. Power outage map in Batesville, downtown Batesville. There it is. Apparently, a big swath of downtown Batesville now without power with this thunderstorm moving over Batesville this hour. And there you see it. How many power outages again? You said, what, around 5,000 folks? Almost 1,000, not 5,000, but almost 1,000. More than 970. Okay. Could just be some strong straight line wind gusts. Let's hope that that's certainly the case. Let's go back to Max 2 and let me show what's going on with our winds once again, and give you, just to orient you a little bit. If you're just joining us, Nathan Scott, Tom Brandon, this is what we do. We try to keep you safe, and what we're looking at is our velocity, our live winds blowing away from radar. They're in the oranges and the reds, winds blowing toward are in the blue. So there is some broad rotation here moving over downtown Batesville at this time, more than likely moving over Denison Heights Road, getting close to Mountain Ridge Road, Highway 69, Parker Drive. This is where we're finding the area of rotation. And again, it looks as if it's not as tightly wound up. It's a little broader, but we can tell there is some rotation there. Maybe it's going through a moment of cycling that it's weakened as it's moved over a pretty heavily populated area. But there are some other places, Sulphur Rock, Gainsboro, you're going to be in the path. Here's that rotation right on top of Walmart up in Batesville. Please give us a call if you're up at the Walmart in Batesville. Let us know what's happening. Well, after the storm passes, of course. Highways 233, Highway 25, and 394. Lots of highways intersecting here with this tornado-warned storm, which continues to be in effect till after midnight tonight. That's what it looks like on live winds. Nathan, anything on your end?
Still looking at the rotation path picking up here on Max 1, where you see that green showing up. It did approach Batesville. So when you see the brighter greens, though, that's where it was really confirmed across Stone County. And then you see as we progressed over the past hour, it built its way towards Batesville. There was that one area rotation right along Highway 69 north of Bethesda and Highway 106. But fortunately, that one fizzled out. And we continue to watch this rotation over Batesville, but it's not as significant. When we take a look at Storm Track 11, once again, we'll take a look at the NROT tool, and we've got blue. So we're not seeing green. We saw everything go from blue to green to yellow when it was in Stone County, and I told you this thing could drop a tornado at any moment when I was seeing that uptick. Well, it certainly did. The situation we have going on right now, yes, it is rotation. Yes, the clouds would be rotating if you could see them in the daylight, but it's not looking like that rotation is reaching the ground. So the concern there is tempered down a little bit. Still tornado warning, still need to take it seriously, still need to be in your safe place, Sulphur Rock, and also just to the east of Sulphur Rock. But at this time, it looks like that rotation is behaving itself for the most part. We're going to rewind this here and see how it is when it comes to the winds. It's still there. The rotation's still there. We're still seeing. So as we go looking at these colors, it is the North Little Rock radar. The red, that is winds going away from the radar. And then the blue, that's winds going towards the radar. So that's where the rotation is in between Batesville and Sulphur Rock. And then there's something here also northeast of Batesville that we'll have to watch out for, and that is on Highway 25. So we have Highway 69 headed towards Sulphur Rock, and then Highway 25 are going to be those areas that I would certainly be in my safe place at this time, Tom.
If we go back over to Max 2, we'll take a look at live radar, and something encouraging. Maybe it's becoming more of a line of storms. That would certainly be nice. Got the embedded supercell here that's impacting northern Independence County. This is just a better viewpoint, a little spread out. Now there's a severe thunderstorm warning in Lawrence County that extends into Randolph County. The storm moving to the east to Independence County is going to track into Jackson County, might even just graze the northern part of Newport. And it's not as potent on the back end here. This is where we're finding just some general rain showers, maybe some thunder and lightning as well. In fact, let me see if I can turn the lightning on real quick, and we'll see just how much we have here. See if that'll work. No, it's the lightning counter. Anyway, okay, well, I'll eventually find it, but not right now. The line extends back to southern parts of Van Buren County. This is where you're finding the boundary. Everybody north of that can rest easy, but you still have the most active part of this system in northeast Arkansas. For all intents and purposes, it's now more northeast Arkansas than it is north central Arkansas. They had the greatest parameter for tornado development today, strong tornadoes. We may have had a fairly significant one there through southern parts of Stone County. That's the only report that we've had. Power outages tonight. And of course our polygon, which indicates where the latest tornado warning is located, and that does include Batesville. The storm is could possibly have produced a tornado near Batesville. Not likely. And there it is. It's currently moving to the east. It's more of a line now. It looks more linear than it does where we could find the appendage. And I don't know, we got the tornado warning for Independence, Jackson, Lawrence, and Sharp. That's till 12 o'clock. It's 11:38 right now. It's a little tough to tell where the rotation is located. It's more of a broad rotation, but if it's anywhere, it's in this general range right here. There's Gainesboro, Arkansas. That might be where we're seeing the rotation. Are you picking it up over there on Storm Track? Any better?
It's broad. It's nothing that's really screaming out to me, but we'll take a look at the NROT to see if that's showing anything. And now it looks pretty tame right now. When you look at the NROT tool, our rotation pinpoint tool, from what I'm seeing.
And just tornado watch has been canceled for Baxter, Fulton, Johnson, Marion, Newton, and Searcy counties. We talked about some counties being lifted, but we still have the tornado watch for, of course, central Arkansas for the rest of the night. I guess until we can see some type of boundary move through. But that's hot off the presses from the National Weather Service in terms of who's under a watch now and who is not under a watch. I think we can agree that it's a little bit more broad-based, but again, it could be going through a cycling moment and may strengthen once again. This line extends into northeast Arkansas. You see Paragould, and that's up in the Jonesboro viewing area. The Jonesboro folks take care of those counties, Craighead County, Clay, Cross counties, those counties in northeast Arkansas. We still have Newport and Jackson County for this cell to move out of before we can call it a night on this particular cell. But that tornado warning remains in effect. I'm sorry, what's going on? Chris? Oh, you've got Newport on the Skype? Okay. So this looks rather interesting here, that little spin, that little curlicue there in northern Independence County. That's on Storm Track 11. Okay, got some hail in Paragould. Going to let the tornado warning continue for now, but it looks as if the rear flank downdraft is winning out. Can see it surging forward in Spectrum Rift. Current trends hold will likely replace with a severe thunderstorm warning. That's certainly some good news. And you can see it's just broadening out here near Sulphur Rock, Moorfield. So we may have gotten away without too much harm here in Independence County with this cell. Tornado warning continues tonight. Thank you for joining us, THV11, THV11+. Nathan Scott and Tom Brandon joining you as we typically do when we have weather like this. One tornado warned storm, one supercell storm that's kicked up a fuss tonight, Nathan, and it's showing signs of weakening as we speak.
And that's a typical situation when you have a capped environment, Tom. It just could be one storm that breaks the cap or that layer of warm air, and we had such a lot of potential energy within the atmosphere. It was warm and humid. So once that cap broke and those clouds were able to grow higher and higher into the atmosphere, it was the one storm that went wild. And we said that was a possibility. You know, it could have just been one storm out of the entire line that could go crazy. And that's exactly what happened. Yep. And now we do have confirmed damage, most likely from a tornado that was in Stone County. Fortunately, it did not hit Mountain View. It was very close. It was only probably a few miles away from Mountain View. It could have been a nightmare situation if that did unfold. It could have been another Cave City type situation. But fortunately, it stayed just down to the south, and hopefully it was just primarily woods. But we have been getting reports that there were some homes also impacted by this tornado, and hopefully everybody is safe and no one's injured or worse. Should we talk about tomorrow? Because we have more severe weather potential tomorrow. We never got to do the forecast since we took our 10 o'clock newscast.
Right. If you want to fill us in with that, I'll take a step back and we'll take Max 1 and talk about the threat for Tuesday. We might be doing this again tomorrow.
Yeah, it is a possibility. So here is the risk from the Storm Prediction Center. This is for the overnight hours, and this is changing because as this boundary continues to move off to the east and southeast, that will get chiseled away. But as we take a look at what's happening with the main threats, of course, we said the big threat was going to be hail. We haven't seen any real huge hail in our viewing area. It was actually the tornado, seems like, turns out to be the highest threat that was out there. But there's your hail size chart because we're looking at the potential of tennis ball to baseball size hail. Now tomorrow, I think the hail size will be a little bit lower, probably golf ball to lime size, which is 1.75 inches or 2 inches in diameter. And anytime you take a picture of hail, to help us out, we appreciate the pictures. Make sure you take them when they're safe, but also put something next to the hailstone. Everybody has different size hands. We need an object, whether it's a tennis ball, a quarter, $50, or even better, a ruler next to the hailstone or a tape measure would help us out a whole bunch, and also the National Weather Service. So this has not been updated just yet. I'll get to that once I get done here. But there you see the severe weather risk has ended in Northwest Arkansas. It's really ended, I think, primarily for areas that are in Newton County, Searcy County, Johnson County, Logan County. So pretty much west of the boundary. That includes northern areas of Pope County and then also into Boone, Carroll, Marion, Baxter counties, also Fulton County, all done with threat of severe weather. And I'll update that a little bit later. Next 3 days, we have a weather impact alert for your Tuesday because severe thunderstorms will be a possibility once again for tomorrow. Not a guarantee, but we're going to have the front that's making its way through right now. It's going to stall out. Upper low disturbance rides along the boundary. That'll be the trigger for more scattered potentially numerous showers and thunderstorms to develop as we go throughout the day, and some of the storms could be spicy. Then we finally see a break as we get into Wednesday, Thursday. It's still a chance of a shower. There could be one into South Arkansas, but what you're going to notice is once this front clears the region finally, the humidity is going to be out of here, and it's going to feel much more refreshing and much better than what we are feeling out there right now with very high dew points in place. This is the juice for these storms to feed off of. Thursday, I think we'll see some sun in the morning, then increasing clouds, highs upper 60s, low 70s. So this is old, but there you see we were in between the warm front and the cold front and the dry line. That was the setup for things to go wild for this afternoon into this evening. This is our not our in-house model. This is the high resolution rapid refresh model, and it's doing a good job for the most part. So we'll just walk you through here to see what you can expect through the rest of the overnight. And it primarily keeps the chance of storms out of central Arkansas except the tail end. So we just have to watch out for that tail end as we go into the early morning hours, 2, 3 o'clock. I think the chance of severe weather is fairly low with this line, but we're going to be here, at least one of us, all night long watching this. And when we are ready to go, then we've got meteorologist Symone Thomas coming in and meteorologist Tracy Bean to pretty much changing of the guard type situation. So here is tomorrow morning, and you see more storms are developing. So we may start off with a few spotty showers Tuesday morning, the morning rush. There could be some drizzle or some light rain, but here comes the next round of storms. According to this model, late morning through the afternoon hours, downpours, lightning, thunder, could be some strong, possibly severe thunderstorms, and then that finally moves out as we get into later Tuesday evening. But you see more cells continue to fire up. So until that cold front moves through, we're still going to have the potential of severe weather as we go into late Tuesday night and into early Wednesday morning. Tom?
Just wanted to pass along and cancel the tornado warning. They're canceling the tornado warning. They've replaced it with a severe thunderstorm warning. So just wanted to pass. We interrupt this weather forecast with the cancellation of a tornado warning.
Interrupt away. When it's good news, go ahead.
Now back to Nathan Scott for the conclusion of your forecast.
All right, so here is the severe risk when it comes to Tuesday. This is from the Storm Prediction Center, and it does have a level 3 out of 5 for Russellville, Searcy, Little Rock, and down to the south. That's what we were in today, a level 3 out of 5. And then it's lower in North Arkansas, pretty much a level 2 out of 5. The main threats tomorrow still will be primarily hail and also damaging wind gusts. But you see the hatched areas, up to 2-inch diameter size hail. Winds with 1 or 2 storms could be 60, maybe as high as 70 miles per hour. And we also can't rule out there could be a strong tornado out there as well. So tonight, storms continue to develop. We've already seen an intense storm. Tomorrow, more severe thunderstorms will be a possibility. Not everybody's going to see severe weather, but I think a lot of us will see some downpours at least make their way through. Temperatures mid to upper 70s. And here's your 11-day forecast as the weather pattern becomes more tranquil. Wednesday, Thursday, we'll have rain move in on Friday, maybe some thunderstorms. Not expecting severe weather with that situation because most likely the area of severe weather will stay in Louisiana and also into Mississippi. There could be a lingering shower to begin your Saturday, but overall the weekend right now does not look too bad. Mixture of sun and clouds, temperatures upper 60s, low 70s, and it looks like we have a nice stretch of 70s lined up for the following week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we could have a chance of more showers and storms arriving here for next Thursday and also into next Friday. So that is the 11-day forecast. And Tom, we'll just go back here to radar because, like you said, we are done with the tornado warning. That rotation has weakened enough that they don't need to go ahead and extend that tornado warning. And yeah, I'm seeing that rotation has certainly gone down significantly, and we are not seeing anything of concern at this time with that cell from what I'm seeing on Storm Track 11. So there you see
some good news.
The radar. I'm loading it up here for you. It just took some time because the computer's thinking a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, while we're doing that, we have some viewer video from Batesville tonight. Roll that footage for us, Chris, and let's talk about that. Of course, just a few moments ago, Batesville was under a tornado warning. Now has been replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning. Sirens going off up there in Independence County. Lots of lightning. As you would expect, the sirens going off whenever you're under a tornado warning. But thank you, whoever sent this to us. A viewer submitted the video from west side of Batesville tonight. And we do appreciate you sending your photos in as well. 501-376-1111 if you happen to see any damage tomorrow morning. Remember that number, 501-376-1111, and text in that information for us. We do appreciate it. And there's Nathan once again. I think what
the secret was revealed.
Right.
The magic was.
I think what we can do is we'll keep this going till 12 since we're 10 minutes away. We'll talk about the night. We'll also take a look once again at the warnings. Again, severe thunderstorm warning has replaced the tornado warning, but the National Weather Service says if they see an uptick in rotation, and we'll keep an eye on it here as well, they'll reissue that tornado warning. It's very possible that this storm is going through its cycling process. Here it is in Independence County. It's raining heavily. Might even have a little bit of hail. Batesville. Here's Gainesboro. You've also got Cave City to the north side there. And this line extends through northern Cleburne County. It's moving over the lake as we speak. You got a little bit of a hail core there. Maybe some quarter to ping pong ball sized hail. We haven't had any reports of hail tonight, but the reports that we have had, of course, the damage from the tornado warning that occurred south of Mountain View. And now this area is trying to slowly move to the southeast. So Heber Springs, Greer's Ferry, and the area around the lake, you're going to be impacted by that line, which is moving to the southeast. And once that line moves through, we should see an end to the severe weather threat for a little while anyway for folks in Cleburne County, Stone County, over toward Van Buren County. And that's pretty much it. It looks like there might be a little bit more trying to develop there in Pope. But yeah, Nathan, that's it. This has been the main action here tonight in Independence, now Jackson County. And as soon as this moves out over into eastern Arkansas, the Jonesboro market, we'll be able to rest a little easier tonight here in central Arkansas.
It's going to be interesting to see if the National Weather Service will continue to have this tornado watch in place until 4 o'clock, Tom, as this line continues to advance its way off to the east. If there's no more cells developing to the southwest, they will likely cancel it early, I would think. And I'm saying, pretty much Yell County, Logan County, Scott County, all those areas are done. Pope County, the boundary's going right through you right now.
Yeah, it's right through there. It's bisecting Pope County.
Yeah, there's
you can
one
see
lone
it
shower popping up over Hector.
There, yeah.
So we still can't
Completely
totally say it's done, you're out of the woods just yet, but the ingredients for these storms to really get going continue to progress their way into northeast Arkansas and off to the northeast. And that's why we had these cells just explode over north central Arkansas. Like I was talking to you earlier, I was saying that cell in Searcy County was going to be an issue. And I was
an issue.
talking about it. And Stone County heads up, and that certainly did what it was expected to do, unfortunately. It ran into an environment that it supported more rotation, and that cell was a wild goose.
Yeah, there were three there, if I'm not mistaken. There were three little areas of rotation that started to show up, and that one cell took over and the others just kind of gave up. And that's the one that survived and moved through the Stone County area. There you go, severe thunderstorm warnings. It's 11:54. We'll hang with you till midnight. You can see some of the reports. We've had reports of hail up in Sharp County tonight, 1.5 inch hail, I believe, and some other reports of hail. I'll step on the other side here. But the action has been north central and now northeast Arkansas, where we've had the highest risk of severe weather today. And of course, we've got the threat again tomorrow afternoon. Let's wrap it up a little earlier tomorrow. What do you say?
That's fine with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a night owl, but
maybe not that much of a night owl.
I got to get up and exercise in the morning.
Yep. Symone's going to join us. We're going to put a mic on her, and she'll hang out with us tonight in the overnight hours in case something goes wonky. At midnight, we'll turn it back over to THV11's main programming. We apologize for knocking out the regularly scheduled programming tonight, but severe weather does take precedence, especially with tornado warnings. Okay. We've got exactly 5 minutes out here in just a second. Chris, you be sure and count us down. Nathan is looking for any rotation to be had in these storms. Let's go to Max 2, Perry, on my end, and that way we can show a little radar instead of those storm reports. If you don't mind, we'll show the radar in this area with the warnings, the severe thunderstorm warnings in Independence and Jackson counties. He's working on it. Perry's working on it. He's working hard. Nathan Perry was with me not only last night, but also Saturday night when we tracked some storms late into the nighttime. This kind of reminds me of these three long days, and we'll probably have another one tomorrow. But you can still see that this is an impressive cell in Independence County, beginning to move into Jackson County. The National Weather Service decided not to extend the tornado warning here. We're thankful for that, but they did keep it severe thunderstorm warned. And there still could be a tornado warning within this cell. It's moving to the east at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. And you can see underneath the banner here. Let me turn that banner off. Just real quick, I'm going to turn that off. The query, there you go. And you can see the storms continue through Drasco, now over Greer's Ferry Lake, Greer's Ferry, Higdon, Heber Springs. The line is going to sink to your southeast. B Branch in Van Buren County. You've got a little bit of a tail end there of some development, but the strongest part of the storm is now in Independence County, and it will be moving into Jackson County here in the next 30, 45 minutes or so. And hopefully we'll see the severe weather threat diminish. People can go to bed and rest easy. We'll get up and we'll do this again tomorrow, unfortunately, Nathan.
Yeah, I'm just checking out every tool that we have at our disposal, Tom, just to make sure that this is not trying to fool us for the most part, because this is still an embedded supercell within a line of storms now. And there's still some rotation trying to show up, but when we pretty much go back, I'm going to go ahead and pull up Storm Track 11 here. When we take a look at what's been going on over the past hour, you can clearly see the rotation. So this is just a loop. There it is around St. James, kind of fades away a little bit. Then it builds its way down to the south, close to Batesville, and then it kind of fades away. And then there was like a little rotation trying to develop to the west of Salado over the past scan or so. So this is still showing some rotation, and we just can't write it off just yet. So even though you're under a severe thunderstorm warning technically, still want to keep your guard up, and they are going to go ahead and issue a new tornado warning now for Independence and Jackson County.
Okay, guess we're not going anywhere.
So probably what I was looking at, Salado.
Yeah. Well, it's on the northern end or the northeastern end of Independence.
Or maybe that one near Ford.
Yeah, northern Jackson County. I think that was the one that was on the northern side of that near Gainesboro. Do you see it?
A little blue. Nothing to say that this is producing a tornado at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and switch over. You see an uptick of lightning in that part of the cell too. So there's like two areas of these updrafts now where these cluster of lightning bolts are. One over northeastern Independence County, and then you got the one over Batesville and Salado. And then you still have another little cluster of lightning here in Cleburne County. So we got to watch out for that tail end Charlie in Cleburne County, because that may also try to strengthen somewhat. We'll focus here on northeastern Independence County. We'll switch over to the winds. We'll take a look at that. And there is definitely some broad rotation over Highway 122 and Highway 37. So Swifton and Tuckerman are going to be locations of where this tornado warning will be impacting those areas.
Yeah, Weather Service said Cord, Swifton, those were a couple of communities that were highlighted in their little discussion there, but tornado warning again for Independence and Jackson County. Just when we thought we were going to wrap things up, we're not going to do that here at roughly at about midnight. Again, thank you for joining us, Nathan Scott, Tom Brandon with you. We thought we were going to see things come to an end, but you know, they go through these cycles. Supercells will weaken a bit and then they'll cycle back up, and this is an embedded supercell within now a line, and this is the strongest part of it, moving out of the northeastern part here of Independence County. Right here, here's Dowdy, Arkansas, there's Boda, here's Tuckerman, Swifton. This is moving to the east, and soon the rotation will move out of Independence County, at least this part of it, over into Jackson County. We'll see if they continue with that tornado warning for Independence County once it moves out of the way over into northern Jackson County. And then once we get out of Jackson County, it becomes the responsibility of the folks from the National Weather Service in Memphis and also the folks up in Jonesboro. Let's hope there's not a tornado touchdown out of this. We have already seen that tonight, but we've got strong enough rotation within the cell here. And again, we've, for those of you that are just joining us, or maybe you've tuned in the last few minutes, we're looking at velocity here, winds blowing away from radar, winds blowing toward. This is what gives us our area of concern, the rotation, the couplet. This is moving due east at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So that's what we have going on here.
Radar data is kind of difficult because both from Memphis and also from Little Rock, we're looking about 7,000 to 8,000 feet above the surface.
Yeah. We're kind of getting into the no man's land for the radar beam. That happened the other night in south central Arkansas when a tornado warning was issued. You've got kind of the battle between the Shreveport radar and also the North Little Rock, and you kind of get caught in that in-between area there. But strong enough rotation to warrant a tornado warning that is in effect for Independence County and Jackson County. And here it is, Highway 122 and 37. This is where we're finding the area of rotation within the supercell thunderstorm that prompted the tornado warning. If those highways sound familiar to you, then you're going to be in the path. Swifton, you're going to be in the path of this, really kind of splitting between Tuckerman and Swifton, Arkansas, Highway 367, Highway 37 and 17 tonight. Here at midnight, this is the last thing you want to have a tornado warning. Nathan's going to throw down a track, and we'll find out other communities that might be involved. Lockhart by 12:10. Kenyon by 12:12, Vance, Arkansas, 12:18, and of course, we talked about Swifton at 12:21. Those are the communities in the path of this potential tornado.
Yeah, looking at the NROT tool on the GR2, Tom, I'm not seeing anything screaming out to me that this is going to produce a tornado at any moment, but also we have to keep in mind we are pretty much in between radar scans here, so we're not seeing green technically, but still, this is showing rotation. So if you're watching us in Cord, you see Swifton right there. That rotation of this dangerous cell is heading your direction. It's like a strobe light when it comes to the lightning. I mean, you look outside the window and it's just consistent lightning with this cell over that location. I mean, look at all these lightning strikes happening as I switch over here to Max 1. Just a whole bunch of lightning, and this is within 10 minutes. So that is a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. It's a very loud storm, and Swifton, you're just seeing a few lightning strikes at this time, but get ready because heavy rain is about to move in, and this is going to be a rain wrap situation. When you look at where the rain's located versus where the rotation's located, it is within the heavy rain. So even if it was daytime, you would not be able to see the tornado whatsoever because it is hiding within this heavy rain and maybe even hail. Let's see if there's any hail with this as well. That is a possibility. Yeah, there's hail. So if there is a tornado, you probably get the rain first, the tornado, then hail is behind this system as it makes its way through northeastern Independence County and into Jackson County. And you see these clusters of lightning. That's all locations we have to watch out for with these strong updrafts. And it looks like that one in Cleburne County, Tom, continues to also intensify.
Doesn't seem to be going anywhere. It's just holding its own. And I do want to mention that what you're looking at the bottom of your screen there is lightning from Tuckerman. Is that correct, Chris? Chris is our producer. Tuckerman, Arkansas. Nathan mentioned it's like a strobe light effect, and it truly is strobe light effect with all of the lightning. Strong line of thunderstorms, supercell thunderstorms, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, and now the tornado warning for Independence and Jackson County. And we're settling in here over Greer's Ferry Lake in Heber Springs, and maybe something trying to spin up there.
Yeah, that's got my attention that I'm watching out for. It does have a little green here right over Greer's Ferry Lake when we take a look at NROT. Doesn't look like it's in the area necessarily of where there'd be something. I mean, it's at the tail end of this line, which it could be that inflow notch.
Yeah.
So we have to watch out for that.
Yeah. Those of you that are watching us from Cleveland County, and things are getting a little loud outside, well, we've got you. We're keeping an eye on it with that line of storms through Cleveland County over Greer's Ferry Lake. Popular hangout for my generation growing up, going to high school. We used to just call it the lake, Nathan. In Cabot, we called Greer's Ferry Lake the lake. And I'm sure if you were south side or on the south part or in Little Rock, you called Lake Washita, Lake Hamilton the lake. But that was the lake for us. Drasco, Cleveland County, Heber Springs, the tail end of this is not just a little bit tipping there Van Buren County. Independence and Jackson under severe thunderstorm warnings at this time until 12:30, and a tornado warning remains in effect. Some storm reports for you. Horseshoe Bend and Izard County with 3/4 inch hail, and Fulton County, Kittle, 1 inch hail. So we have seen some more hail tonight, not nearly as big as it was a couple of nights ago. All right, so looking for anything new that we have for this tornado warned storm. That is, did they kill the tornado warning? Did they? I don't see it. Oh, no, there it is. Right.
No, it's still showing up.
It's buried. I saw the red.
Storm track.
I was getting excited there for a moment. They canceled it. Nope, still there. Oh, yeah, and you can see where things are lining up along the boundary. Pope County, Logan, Johnson counties, a few showers there. Continuing coverage tonight, it is 12:06. Nathan Scott, Tom Brannon joining you with severe weather coverage tonight. Thank you for trusting in us. And we are covering the potential for another tornado, at least a tornado warned storm that has prompted a warning, I should say, up toward Independence and Jackson County. And I just don't see it. But then again, we're far, far away from that radar beam.
Let's switch it over to see if we can get anything from Memphis here. 1 second.
RDOT is looking for a wall cloud, huh? We're on the camera. You want to take that camera full? Let us take a look at it. Well, Nathan sets up whatever else we have there. If you can y'all take that camera full? Chris, who's up there with you? You and Perry? You and Peyton? Okay, Perry's, okay. And we're looking for a lowering or a wall cloud. Don't see anything yet, but if we do pick it up, I wouldn't be surprised with all the lightning that we have out there. I just don't see anything there. This is Tuckerman, right? Where are we looking? Okay, we're looking west, but do we know the community? Do we know the camera location? Tuckerman, okay. Tuckerman looking west, okay.
So it's just to the east of Tuckerman on Interstate 57.
Okay. Okay, good to know there. Thank you for that camera shot, guys.
So that'd be right here, if I can point that out. Hang on here. So right here is where the camera is.
Okay. Along Interstate 57. The interstate formerly known as Highway 67, 167 is now Interstate 57. So just within the polygon, you were looking at the Memphis radar site now, Nathan. Still not, it's just no man's land. You really can't pick up a whole lot of rotation with the Memphis National Weather Service site. There you go. We go back to the
it's not as significant as what we were looking at when they first issued it, Tom. Because they issued it because what they saw on the Memphis radar. They got a better view on the Memphis radar.
Did
but
they?
I mean, there was something there that did try to come together, but now it looks like it's fizzled out for the most part. But we know these things go through cycles.
Jackson County OEM says reports of a funnel cloud between Tuckerman and Swifton. Okay. There's Swifton. There's Tuckerman. Okay. 3,400 residents without power statewide here in Arkansas. There's Swifton and there's Tuckerman. So somewhere in this vicinity, they're reporting a funnel cloud. but have not reported a official touchdown just yet. Here's our polygon box. This is out of Independence and Jackson County. Independence and Jackson counties under that tornado warning till 12:45. It is now 12:10, so we're after midnight tracking these storms. One lone supercell thunderstorm that's causing a ruckus tonight, like the one that we had the other night with all of the hail. But we do see an extension. It's kind of wrapped up in a line. There's a line that extends from north of Jonesboro down to Cleburne County near Heber Springs and over Greer's Ferry Lake. So there you go. Tornado warning till 12:45 tonight. Independence and Jackson. Has Miss Symone made it in? Okay. We need to get Miss Symone a microphone and an IFB so that we can let her join the party. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's just a wait and see.
Yeah.
That line, the strongest part is through Cleburne County, and then it really breaks up more into spotty showers. Van Buren County, Pope County, Russellville seeing a quick downpour. So we'll just have to make sure these cells into the river valley, that they behave themselves and don't become something like what we've seen earlier this evening as they continue to move into Conway County and eventually into Faulkner County. We still have that tornado watch in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning for a large part of central Arkansas. So that's what we're going to have to be here watching. And really, you know, we have to watch and wait and see what happens as that boundary continues to move in. But there's a tornado watch still in effect for many areas until that boundary moves through, Tom.
Yeah. You know, let's hope that here in the next 30, 45 minutes or so, we'll see some of these northern counties get removed, maybe Pope, Logan County, Scott counties, and we'll whittle away at it. But riding things overnight tonight for us, Miss Symone Thomas has shown up. She is right over here to my left. Were you able to get a nap? Did you get any sleep at all? Just a little? Yeah, she's gonna be good and tired today. We will continue. Tell you what we'll do is we'll wait for this next warning. We'll see if this one goes away, and then we'll hand it off to you, okay? It'll be the Symone Thomas show. It'll be like her own little late-night radio show. There are the current watches that we have. Let's go back over to Max 2. We'll track this on live winds. There is your warning that's illuminated here. Independence and Jackson County. Possible funnel cloud over Highway or Interstate 57 between Swifton and Tuckerman, and it's very difficult to pick up any type of rotation here. We're getting away from the radar quite a bit, but you can see that Independence County and Jackson County also under a severe thunderstorm warning to go along with this tornado warning. This is getting on the eastern fringe of our THV11 viewing area as well, getting more into Jonesboro's market and Memphis market, but we're going to close this one out. It is 12:15, or I'm sorry, 12:13 right now. This warning continues until 12:45 tonight. These storms have been just slowly moving to the east at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Fresh batteries coming our way. Nathan?
So I have pulled up that camera that's located between Swifton and Tuckerman, and you can see it's a lot of lightning. There is the storm, just a regular cloud base right now. I'm not seeing any lowering move into the frame just yet. That would indicate a wall cloud feature, but lots and lots of lightning happening across Jackson County at this time. And I'm just going to continue to watch this here for the next few seconds to see if I'm seeing anything in the form of a wall cloud that's making its way in. Yeah, right now it looks like it's pretty much a flat cloud base. I'm not seeing any wall cloud. Just see what's happening to the right. It's kind of hard to see where this camera's pointed to because they moved it around.
Yep.
But it looks like off to the right, looks like the base is a little bit lower. But it's difficult to see if that's anything or not.
Lots of lightning, though. If you should be able to see something with all of that lightning.
It's just nonstop.
Yeah.
That is a strobe light.
An intense supercell. Just hang it on for dear life. Last report we had was about 6 minutes ago from the National Weather Service. They're moving it around a little bit more, Nathan. Oh. Looks like they moved it a little. This is the camera shot near Highway 57 between, off of Highway 57 near Swifton and Tuckerman, Arkansas. This is in East Arkansas, northeast Arkansas, where a little sliver of Independence County remains under a tornado warning, and a larger part of northern Jackson County is under a tornado watch. We're beginning to see the worst of the weather really shift away from north central Arkansas now into northeast Arkansas, where we've had to deal with warnings off and on for tonight. And they're going to say tornado warning remains in effect for Jackson County. So it looks as if they've shaved off the Independence County part of it, Nathan.
Yeah, we'll continue to watch that camera. I'll continue to watch it here off screen, and we'll see if there's anything else happening. But we'll go back over to Storm Track now and just see how everything else is evolving here when it comes to that entire line. But yeah, it seems like once they get into Van Buren County, they start to develop. Like this little shower here, you follow along, and it continues to intensify.
Yep.
Right over Heber Springs, and it continues to grow. So, I mean, this is trying to build its way more and more to the south and southeast. So it might get close to Searcy. And we'll just have to make sure that it behaves itself and doesn't try to show any rotation. Hopefully it just stays as a heavy rain shower, but that's why we have the tornado watch in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, we were watching that little bit of rotation trying to develop over pretty close to Heber Springs. That since has dissipated. There's just that little blip there. I don't know if you see that. Little blip right there. I was like, it's a little suspicious.
Yep.
But that has gone away, so that's good. Anything else along the line that I'm seeing? No. And even that cell into Jackson County, but this is the Little Rock radar, so I'm going to switch over to the Memphis radar, see if we're seeing anything there. And we'll look at our rotation tool, shows blue. So nothing too significant when it comes to this storm producing a tornado at any moment. And there's not any blue here with the Little Rock radar, so it looks like the Memphis is going to be the way to go. So right now it looks like the rotation is staying in the clouds, Tom. I'm not seeing it pick up, and that is some good news, but we'll continue to watch it closely.
Absolutely. But still with counties under the tornado watch for a while longer anyway, and the question is, will we see it stay in place till 4 a.m. and maybe extended? The worst of the weather is now in northeast Arkansas, really from Cleburne County through Independence, Jackson counties. All severe thunderstorm warnings, but there is a sliver here of northern Jackson County that remains under a tornado warning until 12:45 tonight, until this can pass out of Jackson over into the Memphis viewing area. But we still have a very strong line of storms from Independence County through Cleburne County. Nathan showed you kind of the building effect there on the southern tip. Moving over Greers Ferry Lake, and a good evening to those of you that turned on the TV because it got loud over Greers Ferry Lake in Cleburne County. You were not under a warning, but your neighbors to the east are. Independence County, where earlier tonight there was a tornado warning. Hopefully, luckily, have not had any reports of a tornado there. Although we did have a report earlier tonight, Stone County, that was our first tornado warning that produced something. And I'm sure the Weather Service will be out to check it out here in the next couple of days. Severe weather, though, the stronger thunderstorms remain in Jackson and Independence County with severe thunderstorm warnings for the possibility of some strong winds. And, of course, we can't rule out the potential for a tornado. That's why we have this tornado warning here that's northern Jackson, Highway 57. Still got to keep in mind tomorrow or today, tomorrow afternoon or this afternoon, we could have more strong to severe thunderstorms impact our forecast. But we are beginning to see this multi-day situation wane on down. Looks like we'll finally get some cooler and drier conditions for the middle part of the week ahead of another chance of a few scattered storms, but it doesn't look like that's going to be as nasty as what we've been experiencing lately. Yeah.
National Weather Service says they are going to go ahead and cancel the tornado warning for Jackson County because the rotation has weakened enough that they feel confident that there is not going to be a tornado with this cell. Still don't let your guard down, Jackson County. You're still going to get hit with a lot of lightning, heavy rain, and potentially some gusty winds, maybe even some hail. But as of right now, the tornado threat within this cell has diminished enough that they are going to go ahead and cancel the tornado warning. As you see there, that red polygon has now disappeared, Tom.
So we need to close this out quickly before they issue another one.
Pretty much.
Yes. Yeah. Nathan and I will be checking out here. We'll stick around a few minutes longer, but Symone Thomas will get mic'd up and we'll get her in here, and she'll be the one that will be tracking stuff here tonight until Tracy Bean comes in, and they'll take you through the morning show. I said Symone Thomas, and there she is. She just showed up. But we're gonna be doing that. Any closing thoughts tonight, Nathan? This morning?
Closing thoughts. The forecast worked out. I mean, I was going to be like not happy if there wasn't any storms, because when you have a situation of a cap over the atmosphere, it's a boom or bust. I didn't want severe weather, but I did want a few showers to pop up. But we said it was going to be one cell that was a possibility to go wild, and that was the case. And we will be probably checking out the storm damage in Stone County. I'm sure the National Weather Service will go up there. Probably not tomorrow because we have severe weather threat tomorrow, so they'll have to wait until Wednesday to determine on what rating the tornado was. But when we were getting the debris detector that was picking up debris 9,000, 10,000 feet, you know, there's studies on that relate to how high the debris can be detected and the relationship on how strong the tornado was.
Okay.
So
that's good to know. We had a fairly significant one here tonight. We're going to get off our main channel, THV11. We're going to stay streaming. Symone said, Tom, I want to stream for the next 5 hours. You give me a look.
Symone didn't say that.
Symone didn't say that. But we're going to take you back to regular THV11 programming. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Of course, we'll break into regular programming for more tornado warnings, but we are going to stay on the stream, THV11+ and YouTube, and I think maybe Facebook. We'll stick around a little while longer. Thank you. And we're back on Plus. We're back on Plus. Say hello, everybody. We're back on Plus. Say hi, Symone. Symone and Nathan, Tom. There they are, getting the changing of the guard here tonight. Symone's going to take you through the early morning hours. She's kind of like that late night disc jockey. Spinning all the hits tonight. Ask for your favorite request, and Symone will play it for you tonight. No, we're not going to play music. I'm just kind of messing around. That's what it reminds me of. Of course, your YouTubers, they love people. They love to party. They're up tonight, keeping an eye on things.
This is for the night owls. If you're with me, hello. Was that a good mic check? Thank you.
You got plenty of caffeine in you? Mm-hmm. Not too much.
So how, were you able to sleep at all tonight with everything going on? I know that you were going to try to take a nap.
I took a little nap earlier.
Yeah.
Like a cat nap? 15 minutes? 30 minutes?
Yeah, maybe 45.
You know, it's the experience that I've had is that it's always been difficult to sleep whenever you know you've got bad weather.
FOMO.
Yeah, because I want
What?
to see all
FOMO.
the updates.
FOMO? What?
Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out? I wouldn't say that. It'd be the fear of getting blown away. That too. But fear of missing out. I know that Tracy's probably not sleeping much tonight either. I saw something from her a couple of hours ago. But then again, she has this very erratic sleeping behavior anyway. You know, it's that military. That's that military in her. Seriously, I mean, that's just one of those things. She sleeps a couple of hours at a time, and then she'll take a nap, and then she's get up. She's fine.
of how much sleep she gets. She's always just the most excited little ray of
She is.
sunshine.
Some people can get away with that. I'm not.
You're not one of those people.
No. If you wake me up and I didn't get enough sleep, I'm grumpy.
If I leave now,
You know how it is.
yeah. If I leave now and I go home, hi there, go home, get home 1 o'clock, and unwind a little bit, relax, I'll be up by 6. It just won't matter. I don't care what kind of sleep aid, sleep medicine I take. It's just the way my body is, you know. I'm not saying that I take drugs for sleep.
Are you still on morning show time after all of these years?
You know, 22 years, the morning show standard time still shows and rears its ugly head. It does. So Symone will answer some questions for you, YouTube and Facebook. And we are on YouTube, right? YouTube
Yes,
and
I have
Facebook.
YouTube up.
Yeah, I see Nathan, so you are up. There I am.
Tom, did you
Moved in.
leave any oatmeal cream pies?
I don't have any. I'm so sorry. The best I could do is a bag of mixed nuts.
I got some caramel Rice Crisps.
Okay.
You want some
Well,
of those?
Simone's got snacks for tonight. That's what's important. But I tell you what. What's that? A CC dropout where?
That's Poinsett County.
Poinsett County.
And
That's out of
Craighead.
our viewing area. Peyton is still around.
So
Hayden's still on morning show time too.
Okay. Yeah, Poinsett County. That is not our THV11 viewing area. Craighead County, Poinsett County. That is Jonesboro. I respectfully leave that up to them, but Symone may want to comment on it. There might be some folks that have some family up there that you can help. But we don't.
Yeah, we have it up on Storm Track 11. And northwest looks like Poinsett County between Grubbs and Cache, Arkansas. This little streak you see of that blue and green, that would be that CC drop-off that we're referring to. So it looks like they just issued a tornado warning with that. That would be from the National Weather Service in Memphis.
Yep, Craighead and Poinsett counties.
Okay, so I'm being told the camera to the bottom right-hand side is from Tuckerman, you said, Tuckerman, Arkansas, pointed looking east towards the storm. So on this map, this is Tuckerman where you see my mouse pointed east towards this green, blue. That's the camera view we have. Any folks out there in that area, just read it from the National Weather Service office in Memphis. They are going with an observed tornado.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
it's interesting because the velocity is really not showing much.
And it looks like with this newest scan, it's not as prominent with that blue as it was a scan ago, but you still have a little of that green.
What's the NROT showing? Nothing.
Maybe a couple scans ago it looked a little bit better. No.
Yeah, they
think it was
haven't
really just-
observed, huh?
Yeah, this just changed color to the purple. Well, maybe I should change this because this is on Little Rock. If I change it to Memphis, maybe that gives us a better view.
Well, we have storm chasers out there too, because Arkansas was in the bullseye. So
Yeah.
I know earlier they were saying, National Weather Service out of Little Rock was saying there was a storm chaser that possibly saw a funnel in Jackson County right before they allowed that tornado warning to expire. So, yeah, looking at that, that's significant, and that's the Memphis radar.
Mm-hmm.
You want to rewind that and see like how it evolved? If it just popped up all of a sudden?
So I think this was what would have prompted that tornado warning when it was a little bit closer to Tuckerman.
Might have been a real
weakened a
quick
little bit.
touchdown.
I'm still here. I'm just listening.
That's
You need me?
4,000 feet.
I'm still here. But I will be leaving soon. I will.
As much as you say that, I think you like hanging out with all of us. I didn't hear a no.
Oh, I'm watching the TV. Yeah.
It's very interesting because like the spectrum width, spectrum width is when we look at the airflow and where you see this yellow that tells it's chaotic, going in different directions. It was there, and then that's kind of really disappeared. It might have just been a very quick touchdown. Because the velocity does not look really that significant.
I see this camera Peyton says now southbound. Where are we looking from? From Tuckerman?
57.
Oh, they turned it back. Okay. Can we find another camera that might be close to Cache or Otwell? Nothing over there? Okay. Thank you.
CC is definitely not as strong as what it once was.
Well, like we mentioned earlier, that is technically at a part of the state now that is under the responsibility of Memphis. So I'm going to zoom out, take us back to a central Arkansas view and touch base on where we stand this evening in case people are just now joining us on THV11's, YouTube, or Facebook. I'm meteorologist Symone Thomas. I just joined I guess we could call it a severe weather slumber party. We're tracking severe weather across northeastern portions of the state right now, but we still have a tornado watch in effect for a good portion of the state. Going to touch base on who is under our watch. All of this, as Tom has mentioned before, is ahead of a frontal boundary that is moving into northwest and north central portions of the state. So we're going to continue to see if any more development between now and sunrise is impacting mainly this part of the state, northeastern portions. Ahead of that boundary right now, we have a couple active severe thunderstorm warnings for portions of Jackson, Woodruff, Independence County, that tornado warm storm impacting portions of Poinsett and Craighead counties. That's getting a little bit closer towards that Memphis coverage area. Taking us back a little bit further west, still got some thunderstorms happening in eastern half of Cleburne County and then of course into Independence County. Van Buren County looks like you have a storm impacting southwest or southeastern portions of the state, excuse me. Now if we could take it back to Max 1, I have up our tornado watch. Well, it's loading. I guess the computer is a little sleepy like the rest of us, but once we get this loaded, I'll give you an update on where we stand with our current tornado watch. Here we go. Tornado watch remains in effect for a good chunk of central Arkansas into northeastern Arkansas. This is going to be in effect until 4 a.m. I think the watch, this is the central Arkansas watch that is in effect until 4 a.m. Those northeastern counties. So looking at this line that you see that divides between Batesville, Jonesboro, down to Stuttgart, areas east of that, that watch goes until 5 a.m. So central Arkansas through 4 a.m., northeastern and eastern Arkansas through 5 a.m. So I'm here to hang out with you at least until then. I know 5 a.m. is when we get started with our THV11 morning news. So we'll, at that point, if we don't have any active warnings, we'll have morning news as normal, but I'll be here hanging out between now and then to give updates. Right now, we're just going to hang out on Plus and on YouTube and Facebook until we do or do not get another tornado warning. Fingers crossed we don't have to. The idea today is that maybe 1 or 2 storms are capable of producing a tornado, but this wasn't meant to be an outbreak. So we've had a couple of storms. We're just going to watch now through the rest of the evening or overnight of what to expect. Let's take us back Yes, so while we're hanging out, if anybody has a question about the rest of the evening, you can put them in the YouTube chat or the Facebook chat. That's also part of why we're here. But we're going to just take more of a regional view right quick between Arkansas, Tennessee, over into Kentucky. We've got a number of these storms firing up across some of the Mid-South and Midwest up towards, again, Western Tennessee, northwestern Kentucky, up into Indiana and Illinois. We got a number of warnings firing off. This is all, again, ahead of a storm system and frontal boundary that is impacting portions of our state, but bringing heavier impacts to those neighboring states. Not much new information right now coming from the National Weather Service. Looks like they've canceled some of the tornado warnings that were over in Tennessee. Does it look like they are going to cancel this one here in Arkansas? It looks like they've canceled the one here in Arkansas as well. So right now, all we have it happening in the state are some severe warned storms. So let's take this to live radar to take off a little bit of this noise. It's not what that's... There we go. So right now, what's impacting us, what we're keeping an eye on, is this severe warned storm. This warning through 1:15 a.m. impacting portions of Independence, Jackson, White, and Woodruff counties. Right next door, we have this storm warned for portions of Craighead, Dyer, Greene, and Mississippi counties. At that point, that's where we're getting into Memphis coverage area. So this warned storm is the last warning or the only warning we have right now for the Little Rock coverage area. And across central Arkansas, like I said just a second ago, mainly some activity between Van Buren and Cleburne counties. That's the most we have right now, but we're going to hang out at least through 1 o'clock. I'll take some questions between now and then. I think at 1 o'clock we'll take a pause unless we get another warning between now and then, but we'll take a pause, maybe check back in at 2 o'clock, and then we can go from 2 to 3 chatting. And just, again, if we end up with a tornado warning, we'll keep going, but kind of going to do an hour on, hour off between now and the start of our morning show. Does that seem, for our directors in the booth, does that seem like a fine plan for us? While we have this up, I'm going to look through a few of your questions to respond to. Yes.
Hey, would you give Scott Covert a shout out on our stream, please? He said he wanted a shout out on our stream.
Shout out to Scott Covert. If you guys remember Scott Covert, he was a Wake Up Central, from 2020 to 2024, and now he's chief up in Northwest Arkansas at 5 News. We love him, we miss him, but he's doing big things for that part of the state. I think it's a little bit quieter in Northwest Arkansas right now.
I'm surprised he's up.
He's probably like the rest of us, like Nathan said, having FOMO.
He's laughing. He's laughing at us. Good night, Scott.
Have a good night, Tom. I'm seeing some people in the comments talking about they are hearing about a tornado on the ground near Tuckerman. I don't see a warning out there, but what I'm going to do, I'm looking over here on Storm Track 11 from Memphis's radar site to see if we can, oops, wrong thing, to pick up on anything. I don't see a super significant rotational couplet, and the NROT tool isn't picking up on anything significant, and I don't see a CC drop off like we did a second ago. And I'm not seeing any new developments in regards to, let's see. I'm not seeing the National Weather Service mention anything. They are giving some updates the Memphis station giving updates about some Tennessee counties, but I'm not seeing any new reports coming from Arkansas. Right now, we do just continue to have that severe thunderstorm warning. Let me catch up to see if there's any more questions I'm missing. Let's see. People are asking about a couple of their cities or counties. So let's take a step back to look at our warnings, because right now, not our warnings, our watches, excuse me. The activity is mainly happening in northeast Arkansas, but still want to move with a little caution for the areas that are still under our tornado watch. Now, somebody asked about Dardanelle, Arkansas, which is a little bit further west. I don't think right now there's an active storm happening, and I would not be surprised if this is one of our counties that are lifted a little bit earlier, but still right now until 4 a.m. we have that watch in effect, which is part of why we're still hanging out on the stream to give updates. Again, this is following a frontal boundary that is starting to impact northern portions of the state. So I think as that frontal boundary dips a little bit further southeast, we might see some of those counties lifted early. Right now, we're just kind of playing a waiting game. So I say all of that to say, for a location like Dardanelle, somebody's asking about Faulkner County, which is a little bit closer to where we are seeing some action right now in Cleburne and Van Buren County. Nothing is happening at the moment, but because we still have that watch and conditions are favorable for some storms to fire up, I would say if you're going to go to sleep, leave your ringer on so you have ways to receive warnings. But right now, there's not a direct need for concern. Getting questions about Sherwood, similar story. We are under the tornado watch here in Pulaski County, but we don't have any rain actively happening. And the idea today, we have the conditions or the ingredients across a number of counties for storms to fire up, but not everybody is going to see the storms. Right now, storms are very spotty to scattered in coverage. We're not going to see coverage expand much more than this. As these storms move east, we might see a couple more develop behind it, but we're not going to see totally widespread coverage across the evening. So even though, again, we have places under that watch, I'm not telling you to disregard the watch. I'm just saying you don't have to feel necessary to stay up all night. Just leave your ringers on, keep the shoes close if you do have to get up and head to your tornado safe space. I hear a couple of people asking about conditions for Tuesday. Unfortunately, we are expecting more strong storms in the forecast on Tuesday. I know with the last update, they had went ahead and upgraded some portions of the state to the enhanced risk. Now that we're beyond midnight, let me see if this day 2 map still populates as Tuesday, or if now that would be our day 1 map. We could touch base about Tuesday. Okay, so this is swapped to Wednesday. So kind of thinking ahead for Tuesday afternoon, because a few people are asking once we get into Tuesday if there's still going to be a concern for severe weather. Well, this is still on today's outlook. So right now we don't have a good map to show us Tuesday. I can pull it up here. Hold on. Okay. Do we mind pulling up Storm Track 11? So we're at that weird time of the night where on our Max 1, it's in that limbo. Day 1 is still considered Monday's data, but day 2, they've kind of already skipped ahead to Wednesday. So right now we're still looking at the day 1 map where that risk of severe weather was most prominent across northeast Arkansas. Day 2, which is technically Tuesday in afternoon and evening, which was the point of me trying to answer this question, that does include more of central and southern Arkansas. So it does include the Little Rock Metro and areas east of that, the southernmost 2/3 of the state. So I think the location somebody was asking about specifically on the Facebook was trying to find which chat that was in. Okay. So this person, okay, I found it. It was on the YouTube comment, the comment I was trying to respond to. They asked about Clarksville, which is in Johnson County. I think Johnson County will sit right at the cusp of where we have that slight risk and enhanced risk. And breaking it down by impacts, we do still have the potential for a low-end tornado, wind threat heavy, still that chance of some big hail like what we've seen today. So yeah, we'll be talking more about, we'll be tracking more storms as we get it tomorrow afternoon and evening. Someone is asking, where is the frontal boundary? Give me a second to draw that out on Max 1. If we could pull up Storm Track 11, I'll draw out where the boundary is to give you a visual. I don't want y'all to have to critique my drawing skills. That's why I'm going to draw this off camera and pull it up for you. Okay, this is the RDOT camera over in Tuckerman, Arkansas. Is this still looking east or is this looking south? We're looking south now towards Newport. So Tuckerman, Arkansas and Jackson County looking south towards Newport, Arkansas is the camera view we're currently looking at. Thank you for that, Peyton. Oh gosh, my drawing skills are terrible. Okay, let's bring up Max 1. This isn't as straight of a line as I wanted it to be, but this kind of gives you an idea approximately of where that cold front is that is part of this bigger storm system that is helping generate the storms. So how we've been saying, the chance for severe weather, I think between now and sunrise is going to stay for areas south and east of this line. So right now what we're seeing those storms matches up because it's just ahead of that line. Van Buren, Cleburne counties, we've got some storms bubbling up here. They're not warned right now. Not to say they could not get a little bit stronger, but I think the chance of them strengthening enough to get a severe thunderstorm warning will be greater as it moves east. Some other areas that are north and west of this, Danville, Russellville, Clarksville, I think your threat is winding down. We do still have the watching effect, so that's not to say we can't get, as we see here in northern, Conway County, we've got a little bit of convection bubbling up. As that continues moving east, that could strengthen a little bit more. So just again, if you're going to go to bed, keep your ringer on, but I don't want you to go to bed in fear. We're keeping the tornado warnings east of the Mississippi River right now, which is the good news. We just again have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings just ahead of where we've got this cold front sweeping through the state. This current severe thunderstorm warning we're looking at, this is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 1:15. So right now it's 1:48. We got a little under 30 minutes. That is for portions again of Woodruff County, Independence County, Jackson County, and White County. This is for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So with that being said, they have not mentioned hail. I'm going to quickly pop up the hail tool. This might be dime-sized hail, if anything, near Newport. And then along this highway 167 and then over into 156, maybe dime-sized hail. Not enough to meet that severe threshold, so that's why I see them having this warning in effect just for the wind. we're getting into this part of the state when we're looking at these warnings. We're kind of getting wedged between where Little Rock's radar site is and where Memphis's radar site is. But, oh, we just got a new tornado warning. Now, this is technically for the Memphis coverage area, for Craighead and Poinsett counties, but I am going to read you some of the facts or some of the info they're giving in case you have family members. Give me 1 second, Peyton. This is from the perspective of the Memphis radar, and I do see right around that border of those counties is where, if there is going to be any rotation, where it would likely be. I'm going to pull this up on Storm Track 11 because it doesn't look as healthy on there either, but let's use the NROD tool. Not significant rotation, but let me read to you why the National Weather Service has issued this warning. Radar indicated rotation that they're saying is located over Greenfield. Say that again, Peyton. Oh, I went too far east. My apologies. This is the right one. But even this rotation, take it back a couple scans, it's not super impressive like what we've seen before, but I'm not seeing a super big CC drop off either. But this could have been one of those spin ups. Again, this is radar indicated coming from the National Weather Service in Memphis. So technically, Craighead and Poinsett counties are in that coverage responsibility, but we've been having a couple of people in our chat asking questions about those locations. Let's keep this image on max 1, because I'm going to draw out, again, this is technically not our coverage area, but just for the sake of following this along for people that might have families in the area, let's add a track to this. Says the storm is moving east at 35 miles an hour. Yes, 35. Add. Okay, time now is 12:52, so within the next 2 to 3 minutes, Cary, Arkansas, 12:54. Looking to see some of those impacts. Maple Grove by 108 if this storm continues producing rotation. Not to say there's a tornado on the ground, but that storm is indicating some rotation on radar that could be moving over you around 108. Truman, Arkansas, which is riding along I-555. 111. So within the next, I would say 13 minutes, you're going to see, well, maybe not even that much, 10 minutes, excuse me, you're going to be impacted. Farther down the line, Lepanto, that's at the edge of this polygon, 130. This warning is in effect until 115. So we'll be keeping up with if they decide to keep that going. But again, that is in Memphis's coverage area. We're going to zoom back out right quick. A little bit closer to our viewing area. Say that again, east of Heber Springs. It's switching over. Is this what you're talking about at this border? That near Davenport? Let's see if Little Rock's National Weather Service, it doesn't look like they've given anything new. While we have that up, I'm also going to cross-check this on Storm Track 11. Well, we could have kept it on that because I got to switch it back to Little Rock's radar to get a better view first. We're going to watch, though, to see if Little Rock National Weather Service decides to issue a warning. They just said they're going to continue the severe thunderstorm warning over to our east in Independence, Jackson, White Oak, Woodruff counties. On Storm Track 11, I am still seeing a little bit of what could possibly be some rotation right outside of that storm, but I haven't seen any indication. NROD tool is showing a little more rotation, so would not be surprised if we end up with a tornado warning, which if we do, we'll end up going to THV11 as well. Yeah, a little bit of, do we have a RDOT camera near any of these locations? Okay, we don't. We need some more RDOT cameras. Let's follow this. I'm also going to check the comments do we have anybody watching from any of these nearby locations? So this is now in far northern White County. And they just said they're going to continue the severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, this update that came, did you see that this is weakened? So it's weakened a little bit with the scan, but I could still see. And I think the National Weather Service probably wants to see a couple consecutive scans to see if that rotation is maintaining before they fully pull the trigger on the warning, but we're just going to keep an eye on this again. This is in far northern White County, part of this severe warned storm that is in effect, well, this warning that is in effect for portions of northern White County, Independence, Jackson, and Woodruff counties. This is in effect until 1:15, yes, 1:15. When we first saw this little area of rotation, it was just outside of the polygon. Now it's in the polygon. It's weakened a little bit over the past couple scans, but still something to keep an eye on. And we're going to make sure we're not missing any updates from the National Weather Service. Let's see. Somebody in the Facebook comments said a storm chaser was out in this area and they did catch a small brief tornado on camera. So the little bit of the debris signature we just saw with this as it crossed, we don't have that now. So yeah, it probably was a brief touchdown. Oh, press play. That's not what I meant to do. Near Pangburn. It's definitely gone away. And as far as rotation, we had that bullseye earlier when it was crossing from Cleburne County into White County, but it's definitely weakened with some of the most recent scans. Thank you for that information. Zooming out right now, not much else happening. A little bit of isolated activity happening in the northern half of Conway County. Of course, Cleburne County still picking up on some rain, but as they move east and definitely get into White and Independence and Woodruff counties, that's where we're seeing a little bit more of that strength. A little bit further east, Poinsett and Craighead, we have a tornado warned storm. So definitely this part of the state right now that we are keeping our eyes on this morning. And I still have this from the perspective of Little Rock. Yes, I do. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. Let's keep it going at least until 1:15, since we have this warning, and just because we've seen a little bit of rotation right outside of the severe thunderstorm warning. If for whatever reason they start to pull the trigger on the tornado warning, it will be easier for us to just add the coverage instead of having to get back on everybody. So let's follow this for 15 more minutes. And if we don't get any new updates or any new warnings, then we could take a pause until 2. Let's see, going through a few questions. Somebody asked on YouTube about Hot Spring County, nothing firing up in Hot Spring County. Northern White County is where we have that thunderstorm, but closer to Searcy. Searcy doesn't have an active storm, but you could be hearing some thunder off in the distance from your neighbors a little bit farther north. Someone's asking about Jonesboro. Just right now, based off of what we have, and this is still from the perspective of Little Rock, so this might not be as detailed as the Memphis radar would be. I think the storm that has this tornado warning is just to the south of you. Let's switch this back to Memphis right quick just to do a quick touch base with what and by they, I mean the Memphis National Weather Service, what they're keeping up with this storm. Hold on. Yeah, I think they are keeping this warning going, but I'm not seeing any super impressive rotation. So that was answering that question about just kind of touching base with what's happening near Jonesboro. There's definitely, you're going to get a little better information about that from the folks over in Jonesboro. We've got news stations out in Jonesboro, and also our sister stations out in Memphis will have more thorough updates on Jonesboro. We are now up at 101, looking across the state. Mainly that activity firing up, if we can, thank you. Mainly impacting north central, northeastern Arkansas. We've got that one active severe thunderstorm warning that is in our coverage area that is impacting portions of the very northern tip of White County into Woodruff County, then Jackson and Independence counties. A little bit of a moment ago, there could have been indication of a brief spin-up tornado, but there was never officially a tornado warning with that. But per some of our commenters, some storm trackers out in the area might have caught something on camera. So we're just keeping an eye on that. Right now, we don't have anything super impressive on velocity or inroad that would indicate an area of concern. We're just gonna keep touching base right now until this warning expires. I would rather move safe than sorry. So if a warning was issued for this storm, and by warning I mean a tornado warning, we're already here, we're already talking, and you know, that would be easier than having to get off and then brush back on. Again, this is how things are looking across the state. Looks like we just got an updated mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. So while this plays out, I'm going to read over that to see what the latest information we have. Okay, the biggest thing that impacts us that I'm reading in this new mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center is that we have a lot of storms firing up tonight across Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and then here in Arkansas. Out of all of the places right now where storms are firing up, what they're saying is we still have a strong combination of instability and I think some wind energy extending into northeast Arkansas, which will give way for some supercells. Right now we have more of this linear formation developing into northeast Arkansas, but we do still have the ingredients there for some supercells to develop. So what that means right now where you see this storm, if we could take storm track 11 a full right quick, this storm we have in Conway County a few scans ago, it was just a baby storm. So what we're watching is we still have the ingredients there for as these storms keep firing up, they can strengthen a little bit. So that is the big thing that we're watching. We still have our tornado watch in effect. I'm going to take us back to that tornado watch graphic because that does also include Conway County. Let's see. All right, yes, so the watch, if we could take max one, please. So this watch that extends, the far eastern extent of the watch I'm referring to is Monroe County through Woodruff and Jackson counties, and then areas west of that. That watch, that tornado watch, is in effect through 4 a.m. The extreme eastern Arkansas and then over into Mississippi and Tennessee, that is in effect until 5 a.m. So what I was just reading from the Storm Prediction Center is saying in these areas pretty much that are still in this watch, we have the ingredients, we have the environment there that as thunderstorms are developing, they have the opportunity to strengthen. Could see those supercell thunderstorms, and right now the only supercell I would say thunderstorm we have is what we're watching developing in Conway County. We've got more of that linear formation to the storms over to our northeast that are still bringing some severe thunderstorm warnings. And right now, our time is 1:05. We're hanging out right now just watching the storm that has a severe thunderstorm warning tag across Independence, Jackson, White, and Woodruff County. That's in effect until 1:15. We're just kind of watching that because momentarily ago there was some hints at some rotation, and I just want to be a little safe than sorry to make sure we're not missing anything. So it looks like they just issued a new downstream warning for this part of the storm. So severe thunderstorm warning still for 1-inch size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This is right around here. This is the part of the storm that has prompted them to kind of issue the downstream warning. Still though, for similar counties, Independent, Jackson, White, and Woodruff, looking at this wouldn't give us as good of a wind speed estimate, but 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Definitely could see the hail that they've issued, why they've issued this warning, because this little yellow is that 1-inch size hail surrounding that 3/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch size hail. So this storm right now is packing a punch with the hail size. Let's see. Taking us back to max 1. So this is an overview right now, like I've been kind of eyeing in. We've got this tiny little supercell developing over in northeastern Conway County, but it's not strong enough for any warning attached to it. We've got this newest severe thunderstorm warning here near Newport, Arkansas. Oil Trough is in this area. Yeah, we zoom in to see some more locations. Coffeyville, Oliphant, this is where we're seeing. Just a second ago, we saw that 1-inch hail. I think that is the biggest thing that they have issued this newest warning for, is that 1-inch hail. Definitely where you see this core of this darker blue. So what is this, around Arkansas Highway 87, just east of Highway 167. This is along that panhandle, I'm thinking, of Jackson County into southern Independence County. Take a step back and zoom out again to touch base with what's happening. We've got a lot of lightning in this storm too, which also is an indicator of some strength. No warning right now over in Cleburne County near Heber Springs, but we got a little lightning happening across the storm that is moving east of Greers Ferry Lake. Closer towards the Little Rock Metro, not picking up on anything right now. And again, about as far west as I see any activity is in what is now northeastern Conway County. The tornado warning is over still in Craighead and Poinsett County, which is in the responsibility of the Memphis coverage area. Check through our National Weather Service chats to. So the National Weather Service says, looks like the tornado warning, I think, for Craighead and Poinsett counties, they're going to replace it soon, or likely replace it soon. It's set to expire at 1:15, so at 1:15, I think they're going to replace that with just another severe thunderstorm warning. Let's check our comments. So I see a few people in our chats talking about they get really nervous during severe weather. Maybe a helpful tip while you have our stream playing, maybe on your TV or on your phone, if you have another device that you could play music on, whatever your favorite album is or favorite playlist, put that on, maybe turn it a little low so it's background noise, so if you need to hear something important, you can. But that helps kind of take your mind off of any storm anxiety. This is not meant to be an anxiety-inducing situation, and I know that's easier to say for me being here in the studio versus people at their homes who are concerned about their houses, their families' well-beings. But if you do choose to stay up late with us and watch what's going on, put you some nice music in the background or a TV show you like in the background and kind of multitask. Listen in where you need to, so if you need to move quickly you can, but don't solely focus on the negative here. That's not what this is meant to be. Somebody mentioned they're seeing some lightning in Jacksonville. I'm not seeing much of anything happening near Jacksonville. Somebody's asking about BB. We're still under the tornado watch in White County until 4 a.m. So if you do go to sleep, just keep that ringer on loud enough where you can hear. Right now, what we're going to be watching for, of course, these linear storms are going to keep moving east, but we've got potential for a couple supercells to develop off just west behind those lines, like you see here in northeastern Conway County, and then near that border of Faulkner and kind of Van Buren counties right here, where this Highway 65 signage is. These little isolated storms, we're going to be keeping up with how these choose to strengthen and what impacts that could bring. We're coming up now on 112. The promise was we would get to 115, just taking a look at what's happening. If we don't have an active tornado warning, we'll take a beat, we'll take a break. What I want to do before we close out, let's walk through what our high resolution model data is projecting will happen between now and at least sunset, because we do have our morning show that's slated to start at 5, but between now and sunset, let's kind of look at what the HUR is projecting happens. Right now, it's doing pretty well with where the storms are right now. We've got that line extending into northeast Arkansas. It's slightly more discreet as you get into central Arkansas. Now, over the next couple hours, this is projecting it moves further south. We could see a few isolated storms possibly develop across more of deep central Arkansas, but this just has the storm motion a little bit further south and east. Now, I don't completely buy the storm motion just because right now, I'm going to play what is happening right now for you. Storm motion is a little bit more east than southeast, if that makes sense. Play this out for you. This is live, so let's do the 1 hour loop. Hold on. Give me the 1 hour loop. There we go. So this is moving kind of east-southeast, but as you saw with that high-resolution model projection, it was really trying to make it more of a southeast. So I think it is doing a good job with picking up where we have storms right now, possibly over the next hour, but I'm not completely buying storm movement, just fully going south. I think we could see a few isolated activity, especially what is coming out of Conway County, bring a little bit of impact into Faulkner County. But I definitely don't see much developing further south than Pulaski or Saline County. Again, we still have our tornado watch in effect that goes as far south as Pulaski County, and I want to say Hot Spring County. Yes, down to Hot Spring County. This is until 4 a.m. So again, just based off of what we saw with the projected high resolution data, we could still see some more storms developing. Whether or not they give us another tornado warning is what we're going to be watching out for. But right now we're coming up on 1:14. It's almost 1:15. The only active warning we have in the Little Rock coverage area is a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Independence, Jackson, White, and Woodruff County. That was for the hail, the quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Just got a new update in this chat. Let me read that right quick. So they're just kind of talking about the storm that we have the warning for. Looks like if they're saying the tornado threat should be minimum, but the hail threat will continue. So we will keep an eye on this. Like I said, we're going to take a quick break on streaming right now. We're going to pull up this hail right quick to just get a quick look. Yeah, this is still not quite as dark of a blue as it was a little bit ago, but still some hail closing in on that I-57 line draped through. This is Jackson County that we're coming up into. Going to keep an eye on this. Again, this is our only active warning in the Little Rock coverage area, the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 2. And this is mainly for that hail and that wind. In this particular storm, the tornado threat is lower, but we still have our tornado watch in effect until 4 a.m. So with that being said, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to come back at 2. We'll go from 2 to 3. Depending on what happens between 2 to 3, we may or may not keep going. If not, we'll just have another update then. In the meantime, get you a snack if you're going to stay up with us. If you do go to bed, just keep the ringer on. I hope you can join us for our morning news. I'll be hanging out through the morning, and I'll see you again soon.